Hello, Internet. This is Matt, coming just sneaking in before this episode of Midnight Hour to again warn that Midnight Hour is a show where we discuss more graphic content or darker stuff, and so we do swear a lot and make light and fun of a lot of the gruesome stuff we discuss. It's not really an insensitivity. We just me and Zach both have a mutual coping of the horrific through humor. A lot of people do. I know it's not everybody's taste, but I just want to get out in front and warn that there is some graphic content, and two schmucks kind of laugh about it a lot. Tonight we're talking about animal attacks, and I hope everybody enjoys the show. Good night. Hello, Internet. This is Matt as himself with the second episode of Midnight Hour with my very special co-host, Zach.
Hello.
As I previously kind of teased in an episode, this week's episode of Midnight Hour is going to be all about animal attacks. Or as we 5 minutes ago discussed, natural horror.
Natural horror, except no plants.
Except no plants, because no plant ever ate anybody.
No. Little Shop of Horrors is probably the only one that matters.
It might. I have a soft spot for Day of the Triffids because it's about slow-moving plants that have to eat people. And at some point, they realized that wasn't very threatening. I think it's because the puppets don't work. So They threw in a plot point where a meteor, where a meteor went by, and everybody in the world watched it, and they're all blind now.
Oh,
literally, what happens in that movie?
No shit.
It's kind of wonderful. It's terrible, but it's wonderful.
What about Nosk in the Valley of the Wind? That's a plant.
That's a pretty great one. There's some worms and stuff.
I got that a little bit ago. She's got like a goblin glider from Spider-Man. Yeah. Anyway,
yes. Today we were discussing animal attacks. It's almost adjacent to cannibalism in a way.
Well, if you consider humans animals.
I do a little bit, but it's a similar thing. Like, we're going to be contemplating the idea of being devoured by animals a bit tonight.
Cool. Super good.
But it's different because there's no motive with them usually.
Well, as far as movies go, there's almost always a motive.
There can be. Well, usually aside from
it's just hunger.
Yeah.
And human stupidity.
Yeah. But so we'll be doing the same format we did last time. We'll be discussing our thoughts on like how we feel about animals and are we scared of them or not. We will have a main event film to discuss at the end. We'll alternate with subjects, real life and movies.
So stick around.
Definitely. Movies we are not covering, just like last time, are things like Jaws.
Yeah.
What's another good one? Jaws was the only one I thought of because that was like the premiere
Jaws is like the one, but ones I have are ones that the ones that I really like. Jaws, obviously. Cujo. I really, really like Cujo.
Cujo, yeah, that's one we don't really need to talk about.
No, because that's fucking basic, bitch. Let's see, Anaconda. Who doesn't love Anaconda?
Anaconda's really bad.
And of course it's bad, but J-Lo, Ice Cube, John Voight, Riverboat, that one guy who played Mask, I don't know his name. I forget his name. Lake Placid's kind of the same thing as
Anaconda. I forgot about Lake Placid.
Dude, they did there's a movie called Lake Placid vs. Anaconda.
Is John Voight in it?
I fucking hope wait a minute, how could he be?
Prequel, maybe.
A prequel? No, I don't think that's how it works. But also, one that I like, Ghost in the Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Ghost in the Darkness?
It almost made my list.
Really?
Yeah, the Savo Lions almost made my list.
That would have been really good.
But I
like the real ones.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I went with some other stuff, though. Because I thought they were just kind of like, they might not be actually well known. I feel like that's something not many people know about.
If you're a Val Kilmer, Michael Douglas fan, they're well known.
Like Priscilla was surprised. She didn't know about the lions that were just dragging people away from railroads.
Oh, dude. So cool. They've gotten a taste for man flesh.
But that's a good one. That's a great one. Is there any other like maybe mainstays? Those are big ones. I would say Jaws and Cujo.
Those are the big bad
Those
boys.
are like the Texas Chainsaws for sure. Those are like the main solid ones.
I bet.
Anaconda and Ghost in the Darkness are like,
and Lake Placid.
yeah.
Nah, you could do without.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, this show could do without. Your life cannot do without. Go watch Anaconda.
At least Ghost in the Darkness. If you're gonna pick one of them, though, I think that's the
Ghost. Well, yeah.
It's super solid.
If somebody is like, "Hey, you got 2 hours, pick a movie."
But yeah, those are the main ones. So like, like we did last time, how do you feel about animal attacks? Are you afraid on the reg?
I'll tell you what. I like animal attacks a lot more than I like cannibalism.
Sure.
As far as a medium of people death that I respect. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't have a fear of animals, but a respect for animals, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that a great number of them could murk me at their leisure.
Most of them, yeah.
So I kind of give them a wide berth. The ones that seem friendly, I'm a little trepidatious about.
Because, like, what do you got? What do you want?
Even, like, a friendly crocodile, if he seems cool, I'm going to still be a little wary about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it, too, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever wandered around and been like, oh, man, I hope
I fucking killed by an
fucking boar doesn't come get me. The only time I think I've done that is, like, when I was attending college, there was, like, trails around the school perimeter.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I don't know why faculty, like, the maintenance staff, would use them, but, like, I knew there was pigs back there, so I was always, like, aware of pigs. If I know I'm in, like, animals territory,
yeah,
I'm aware, but, like, I've been like, going in the woods, I'm more of, like, fucking don't want to tick on me, man. Ugh.
Yeah, it's
Then I am like, oh my god, there might be panthers or bears.
Well, okay, listeners, we live in Florida, so sometimes there was just a guy who pulled like a 14-foot Burmese python out of his fucking backyard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's around. We live in Jumanji.
Everything's venomous.
Everything's venomous. Most things are at least gonna think about killing you upon making eye contact,
especially the people.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those. I don't know. I've never been like.
I just when you're out
kayaking, like I'm always like.
Oh yeah.
Don't think about it.
When you're out in the bush, keep your head on a swivel, man. You never do know what's gonna come a knocking, trying to get that sweet tasty.
It's been years though since I've lived like rural.
Right. Sure.
But like. Because, like, I'm like, these aren't woods.
Yeah, obviously.
Homeless people are in here.
And it's not like, I doubt you're somebody who actively is like, let's go see what's up with the woods.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was, when we used to live down by Sumter, and there was, like, an apartment complex we lived with, and it used to be surrounded by woods, and we used to always be in them, and I loved it so much.
Of course, being a kid, if you got to be in the woods.
All the time.
That's how you ground yourself.
Yeah, like
with a healthy respect for nature.
And it was like, even then I was kind of always like, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just that mentality of like, well, there's like houses 2 feet away, like, or like, like,
and also
10 yards.
That fearlessness of being a kid.
Oh, yeah. And into adulthood, I'm just like, I feel like I'm more worried if I see like a person standing at the edge of like the road than I am like.
Yeah.
I'm more. I think it's more likely to be cannibalized at this point.
You might have a point there.
Then like, oh my god, an alligator.
Man is the cruelest animal. Says so on the True Detective DVD case.
Yeah, and it's one of those like whenever I hear about it, like an animal attack, I'm like, what did that person do?
I always root for the animal every time, every single time.
Well, a lot of time it's like, well, what did you do to it?
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear upon my life. Every time I hear about an animal attack, I say, fuck yeah, animal. Murk that dude. I'm sick of him.
And a lot of the time, too, it's like, you get, like, it's phrased like a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it was like...
Every time... Well,
dude, what were you doing owning a hyena?
Because it's people... Hey,
keeping an alligator in your
house. Talk shit. I want to own a hyena.
I know you do.
I love hyenas.
They stink so bad, though.
Yeah, they're garbage. I'm not going to keep it inside. But it's just a dog. It's like a leopard print demon dog. It's awesome. They're so cool.
I want, like, a fill the back of a toilet with cement so it weighs down in the yard and just chain high into it.
He'll laugh at all your jokes.
Fuck. So yeah, we definitely have a very lax nature on any time. You know,
I love it.
I think the '90s.
I am pro animal attack.
for us. I think we saw too many like animals going wrong kind of things.
Sure, yeah.
And so we got like Animal Planet desensitized us to people being bitten. Yeah, sure, but it was like that was like gateway. Like bloodless alligator chomping on a dude's head led to us being like, maybe I could find Steve.
And also, I've been privy to humans fucking up the planet so much that it's nice to see a little kickback.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's nice to see some dude just get grabbed by the face by a jaguar and just
sure.
We should have got that sound effect.
Ooh.
Jaguar. Row. You know, animal attacks, midnight hour. Row.
I don't know.
Shitty radio DJ.
The second we hit DJ status, I have a glass case with a flintlock that's ready to put me out of my misery.
Oh shit! There's only one. If it's a flintlock, I gotta stand here and spend 20 minits reloading it so I can kill myself.
There's a powder pusher in it.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll probably just fall on my sword.
Have a sword thing with a chain
with another chain, so just a rapier or a gladius that you fall into.
It's got a combination lock on the sheath. Oh man,
for safety, obviously.
I don't remember who started last time. I'm gonna assume I did.
I would assume that's correct.
So if you would do the honors to give us our first movie.
First movie?
Yes.
Okay, my first movie was a steaming pile of shit. It was called, hang on, I got my notes here. It was called Killer Fish.
Of course.
Deadly Treasure of the Piranha.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it starred Lee Majors of $6 Million Man fame and The Fall Guy. And, okay, so it starts off, okay, they're jewel thieves.
Yes.
It's a crew of jewel thieves.
Yeah,
you know the movie?
Mystery Science Theater did it in their second season.
No way.
Yeah, they watch it. That's the only reason I know about this.
Oh man. Okay.
It's wonderful.
It's a crew of. It's all right. It's okay. There's no robots talking shit about it when I watched it. It was just bare bones, just raw dogging it. But there's jewel thieves, and they burn like a foundry to the ground, like a factory. They just blow this whole fucking thing up to get, for some reason. Oh, they explain it. Never mind. There's jewels at the center of this foundry place that they seriously just burn to the fucking ground. Pretty much explode all these lines and zip line to different places, and they get these jewels that are actually like a backup funding for the factory itself if it goes under, right? So then they take these jewels, they put them in a lockbox and put a buoy on them and throw them in like a reservoir to a dam, and one by one there's kind of like some contention among the crew, the jewel heist
almost
gang.
Over nothing. It's crazy.
Just over being criminals, pretty much. You're like, no, we're trying to get a payday.
Which, like, if that was a reservation you had, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. This is not smart jewel thieving. You gotta do it right or don't do it at all, I think. In my jewel thieving.
Well, when step one was burn the building to the ground.
Subtlety is not exactly there. Well, in looking at it from that lens, it's like, it makes sense that they just want to get the jewels, get the fuck out of here, because they just burnt the only industry in the area to the
crippled the economy of this small island town.
It's just cinders now. Everybody's all like, well, I guess we got the week off. So yeah, these two brothers who are on the crew get a little antsy in their pantsy and go like, all right, well, the rest of them say, well, we're going to have to wait like 60 days to recover the jewels just so the heat dies down, blah, blah, blah. You know, classic heist horse shit.
Yeah. So,
these brothers decide they're not going to wait. After one gets bitch smacked by Lee Majors, which that'll happen, you know, it's an occupational hazard.
Around Lee Majors.
He's going to who does the eyebrow? Like, he's constantly The Rock eyebrowing. Only nowhere near as glorious, obviously. Nobody does it better. Yeah. Yeah, so they go and they try to, just with a snorkel and a flashlight, try to get the jewels out of the reservoir. And
it's the two, like, are they Italian? I think they're Italian.
they're like Italian
brothers.
looking guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they just get, one of them gets eaten, the other one, tail between his legs, goes running back to the base, which is this swank ass house. I don't know why they're like, oh no, 60 days in this. They're in
like a beautiful.
They're in
like,
Brazil.
They're at a resort. Like,
they're in Brazil.
What the fuck are you all worried about?
And it's amazing. They want for nothing.
Yeah.
They're gonna make out with jewels here in 2 months. You just get all expenses paid.
I was so let down because like that he jumps in and like it just becomes a fountain of blood. And I'm like, whoa, what's in the fucking? What's in there?
No, you don't go what's in there because the movie's called Killer Fish.
In the Mystery Science Theater one, it's just called Killer Fish. So I'm expecting. I had a weird hope where I'm like, I hope it's not piranhas because it's always piranhas.
Of course, it's always piranhas because it's the only killer fish out there. Piranhas aren't even killer fish. No, you could swim with piranhas. They're not gonna just pulp you.
They're super.
It's a myth. They're fine. They're scavengers, mostly, from what I understand.
Sure.
I'm not David Attenborough. I want to be, but I'm not. So here we are.
Life goals.
I know. Life goals, David Attenborough. The dude's like 95. He's always in helicopters like, the Sahara to my left. He's the most hostile area on the planet.
I always want to be Alan Watts and just like sit on my porch and go, the cosmos is an indifferent place.
Yeah.
Unthinking, uncaring.
Yeah, but David Attenborough gets to go there and tell you how indifferent it is.
I don't need to. I know.
Yeah, I figured it out. But yeah, so I thought it was going to be one by one, everybody goes down to try and get these jewels and just get eaten by
Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, they're just like, where'd everybody go? I don't know. They're not. I hope they didn't go steal the jewels. They go check and see the jewels there. They get eaten. Everybody keeps disappearing.
A flashlight.
Right. Oh, dude, look at this awesome snorkel. Oh, that guy had a necklace like that. Weird. But
dropped it. We gotta get back to him.
There's actually some like interplay between the heist people. There's like Lee Majors is trying to get it in with some chick. There's the fashion model people.
Yeah, it's like the model people.
Yeah, who the fashion photographer is the guy from Total Recall.
Yes, he's great.
Who is sweating. He's like, why are you sweating?
Yeah, it's fake. He's wonderful.
Skid sweat embolism, that guy.
It's the girl that's being photographed has the most obnoxious lisp the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's
and like
so bad.
I thought it was a strange accent at first, but I think it's just
she spends the whole movie being like
Lee Majors.
She's a snake. She's
we can't be down on people's speech impediments. She can't help it. Good for her for getting in a movie.
You know what? You're right. Unless it's like they hired a girl who could do a lisp instead of got one that had a lisp.
She's good to what?
You know, it's like hiring a person who can walk over somebody in a wheelchair.
No,
like,
I get
you're taking jobs away from those people.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, you think this movie's in depth enough to be like, this character needs a lisp?
I mean, to be fair, those guys might not have been Italian. They might have just been slightly tanned.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think this is the kind of movie that cares.
Definitely not. And almost like I don't even really care enough about it to talk about it. It's my least favorite of my list. Thank God I'm starting with it. Hang on, I got some notes. Let's see what it says here. It says there's a killer wardrobe. That's right, because everybody's clothes are fucking baller. Lee Major has his fucking hat ensemble that he wears.
It's that era. That's
it's
a 70s movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody dressed super awesome back then.
Oh, it's so good. They're like fucking like burlap birthday clowns. It's so great. I have it here. Why do these movies try to make a mystery out of the killer? It's called Killer Fish. Because everybody's like, what could possibly be doing this? Oh, and the fucking piranhas were planted. Yeah, the piranhas are a trap by the guy. I thought it was actually pretty ingenious the way they worked it out. Because this guy was like, hey, I gotta make sure nobody's trying to steal these jewels. Mm-hmm. So I put some piranha in the water. And that just doesn't really go well. Because then there's like a big storm. There's some flack between the guy who I assume plans the heist. Yeah. And then there's Lee Majors, who's, cowboy asshole, who's like super competent and fucking can do all this shit and blah, blah, blah. Right? He's the guy. Lee Majors made sure he was like, well, I'm the fucking guy, right? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, of course, right.
You're Lee Majors.
So you're Lee Majors. Duh, Lee Majors. Is he still alive? He's still alive. I'm pretty sure he's still
Probably.
alive. I think he's still alive. I feel like I would have been notified if he did.
Lee Majors died?
Yeah. But, yeah, okay, so there's a big storm, and the dam breaks.
Yeah.
So,
while they're, like, on a boat.
They're on, I forget why. Oh, because
Well, there's a photo shoot, and two of them are trying to get the jewels, and, like, their boat gets fucked up or something.
Yeah, they think that Lee Majors sabotaged their boat, but it never.
There's that scene where the guy who planted the piranhas too is like, don't worry about it. I'll throw like meat over there, and then you just dive down before they get back. It's like
it'll work. Don't worry.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, he's not a super good.
No.
He's really good at baccarat though. Or no, what is it? It's backgammon.
Yeah.
They're gambling with backgammon the whole time.
What?
It's like my grandma plays backgammon.
7? Get out of here.
Yeah, so, and this boat ends up sinking.
Yeah.
While...
Very slowly.
Super slowly.
It feels like it started sinking onto a sandbar, and they were just like, well, we're here.
I mean, what are we going to do? So, but they have to get somewhere when there's piranhas in the water. There's jewels involved. The guy gets on a raft. There's this fucking awesome scene where the guy who planted the piranhas escapes in a raft with the jewels.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck you, everybody. Ha I win. You
don't forget when the fat dude tries to go across
and just gets. Well, they make a raft, and the fat guy immediately is like, "This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work,"
and falls in.
And then he falls in and gets eaten almost right away. But the one girl makes it. She goes and calls a plane. The plane sees her, realizes there's nowhere to land, so I'm just gonna crash. And then
it totally dies.
I know. And then they get out and
you would think it'd be
go
like
try and help
an
him.
aquatic plane.
Yeah, like like a pontoon plane. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's an island. It's like a chain of islands.
I think they would have that though. That makes
no. They don't know.
How long could runways be on these little islands?
Pretty long, apparently. I mean, Brazil's a pretty big place.
Yeah,
they're by Rio de Janeiro, pretty sure. I think they say something about Rio, but who knows? There's a million places called Rio, so I just assumed it was Brazil. And it didn't warrant too much of my attention, to be super honest with you.
Yeah.
But, where was I at? Oh, yeah, so he's like, fuck you, I got the jewels, haha, you thought you were my girlfriend, but you suck on that boat, you dumb bitch. I'm fucking leaving, I got the jewels. And Lee Majors, swims in they do this thing where some guy's injured, so they use blankets and suck up a bunch of his blood to try and, like, lure the piranhas away. And, they're also using this thing. There's a type of lamp or a type of lantern with a certain chemical in it.
It blows up.
That blows up on contact with water. Why the fuck you'd have that on a boat? Beyond me. But they start taking out the filaments of these things and throwing them in the water, so it like blows up. A bunch of piranha float to the surface. Okay, we bought ourselves some time, right? So this guy is floating away. Ha! Fuck you! And Lee Majors, the hero that he is, dives into the water, and between 6 and 8 times tries to get onto the raft, and this dude just punks him with an oar in the head, and Lee Majors just goes and flies back into the water, and he tries to the other side, and then he just beans him in the head again.
It's like Lee Majors, go back to the boat.
Maybe you should just try another approach, because he's just like, maybe this side, you can't get on it fast enough, man. Dude, you just can't.
He'll womp you.
Well, and then it turns he whomps him. He mollywops him several times, and then, but little does he know that Lee Majors either uncorks or pokes a hole in the raft and then swims back to the boat. So he's all like bitten up by piranhas because there's no way you're gonna get out unscathed, unnipped. He's super nipped. He's so goddamn nipped when he gets out of that water. It's crazy. But so the raft starts going, and the guy's freaking out. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Blah 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 blah. And then he gets eaten by piranhas. At the end, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I remember how it resolves.
They resolve by a little bait and switch because they drag the lake for whatever reason. Why the fuck would they? There's nothing out there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not like a crime. It's like a murder took place. You know what I mean? They just drag the lake. They know there's piranhas in there. They drag the lake, and they find the little makeup case with the jewels in it, but it's locked, so they can't get it open. They're like, oh, it's that lady's, and they give it to the lady who was in cahoots with the jewel heist, and she's like, oh, fucking no way, score. And then when there's a scene at the airport later, there's a little meetup. Oh, hey, you were in that piranha attack with me. No way. And they get to talking and stuff. And the other girl, the Lisp girl that Lee Majors was bedding up, makes a switch. And so they get the jewels. And she just gets a regular makeup case on the plane. And then there's a scene on the plane where she opens it up. And she looks at it. And there's no jewels in there.
Yeah.
There's a note. No, wait, no. I think there's a note. I can't remember. At least Lee Majors has a note. When they get into his car, she hands Lee Majors the case, and he opens it, and there's the jewels in there. He's like, what the fuck? And he has a note from the lady who's like, hey, I thought, I would keep half. Fair's fair, right? I was like, oh, so she did get it open, or she did that before?
I would write the note back like, you're right, fair's fair. Which is why nobody would be dead if we all just stuck to that plane.
Which is why there's a bomb on your plane. Yeah, it blows up. Anyway, that's the end. It's a fucking shitty movie. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all.
It was alright. Lee Majors is a funny individual.
Yeah.
Just because you can tell he thinks he's like... He made this movie thinking he's already like... I don't even know an actor to put to him. George Clooney, maybe. Like, he's just manning it up. He was the $6 million man.
I was going to say.
And he was the fall guy. That is fucking it, dog.
Yeah, well, but still, he was the $6 million man. That was huge.
Yeah.
That
daytime
was huge.
TV famous. Yeah,
sadly,
okay, you're right.
It just didn't pan out. Daytime TV used to be it.
That's true.
Like, who was going to movies?
It's different. It's different generation. I could give a fuck about Lee Majors.
I mean,
I know he met Bigfoot one time. I remember that.
He did play Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
I don't know.
Oh man, so I have 3 on here. Speculate. I'm considering which one to really start. I think I'm gonna start with one that's mostly nostalgic. Maybe not in a good way. It's called I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called The Edge. The Edge. It has Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, like Beetlejuice, like Beetle Baldwin era.
Beetle Baldwin.
So he's young, handsome.
Bad Beetle Baldwin.
Maybe a little older, but my grandmother watched this movie a lot, so I saw it a ton.
Okay.
It's just about all these people. They're all going to the mountains to hang out. Anthony Hopkins is like not doing very good with his wife, and is like pretty sure Alec Baldwin's like banging his wife, and it's weird because you're like, it's Anthony Hopkins, so he's old as fuck, and his wife is not that old.
Okay.
And then Alec Baldwin is
got that
even
glop,
younger.
Son.
It's just funny that this tier of
right. She's like in the middle.
Yeah.
They casted it carefully.
Probably pretty.
To be like, she could feasibly bang both of them.
It's very realistic.
Right.
But like, so he's like,
who's the actress?
I don't remember.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like she's not in the movie past once it starts.
Right. Because now it's like a power struggle.
There's a third guy too that's involved. Not like with an affair, but like with what goes down. I blank on what he is. Who like it's literally just a gray lycra suit in my head.
Right.
But essentially, like it's weird because it's like you don't know what the movie's gonna be when it starts. Because Anthony Hopkins very quickly is like, I think Alec Baldwin's gonna fucking kill me up here on this mountain trip.
Oh, right. So he can abscond with his wife. Right.
And that's what kind of ends up going down. They get on a plane. They're gonna go up to this little mountain cabin, and then it crashes. Anthony Hopkins suspects maybe it was a plot, although I don't know how Alec Baldwin would walk away from a plane crash in the mountains.
I mean, that would definitely suck if his plane crash plan backfired and he died.
So it starts to become like a survival movie, and you're like, interesting, and then but like that whole idea of like, oh, they're gonna kill me immediately goes away because now they're just in the woods trying to survive, and the movie then rears its ugly head when a grizzly bear shows up.
Yes.
And then it turns into two guys that don't like each other. Their now crippled friend in the gray lycra suit and a bear.
And a bear.
And it's great. It's one of those movies that's like,
your grandpa was like watching on TNT a lot. It felt like where it's satisfying when you're post 45, where it's just like dudes in the woods with snow and everybody's sweaty and arguing all the time, and then a bear shows up periodically to like, they're like, oh shit, the bear, we gotta be quiet.
Right. So like every time their argument gets a little too heated, they're like, okay, we're friends again until the bear leaves.
Yeah, we gotta deal with this bear. And it kind of like, it's one of those things where I put it, it's like just a wonderful movie of Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins doing that man thing. And I don't say anything about the third guy because he gets eaten pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's there to get eaten.
Yeah, the one, I think
you're always gonna have that guy.
It's either the first or second bear attack, I don't remember, where the bear gets him because they're sleeping. And they're just like, well, he can't run, so it's over.
I guess, yeah, that's it.
From there, it kind of turns into, like, a lot of, like, you know, I don't know if I can trust you, and Alec Baldwin being like, what are you talking about?
What choice do you
like,
have,
he's
man?
playing it so sincere and so straight. And Anthony Hopkins...
Young Alec Baldwin is a force to be reckoned with.
He's super charming. If I was married to Anthony Hopkins, too, it wouldn't be a good decision. I'd be like,
fucking Baldwin.
I wouldn't even make him murder Anthony Hopkins. I would just abscond.
Just
I don't
leave.
know why.
Yeah.
Just PSA. Just leave your significant other. Do not kill them. Don't
don't do that.
Don't plant piranhas in the reservoir.
Don't accidentally get in a plane crash involving a bear. Just leave them. It's easier.
But yeah, from there, it's one of those things where there's not a lot to say about the bear chunk because it's just this bear. It's almost like a movie we should have included in the list is like The Gray. Recently.
Yeah.
That movie's super tight.
That's more like survival than animal attack.
It's a wolf movie. There's wolves.
Yeah, there's mostly wolves. Yeah.
It's great.
It definitely would still count.
It's a similar vein, though.
I wouldn't yell at you for including it, but it's too popular.
Yeah, it's a similar vein, though, but they don't have, like, people to get picked off. So it's mostly just, like, two dudes, like, what do we do about this bear?
Not a whole lot of people die from the wolves. Like, it's mostly, like, the conditions and the climate and stuff.
But it's super solid. You get a lot of... They start setting traps. They're like, well, we got to fight this bear.
Right.
They don't... I remember being very... Weirdly, as a kid, it burned into my soul that they don't kill it with brute force. They literally... There's so many Anthony Hopkins gritting his... Like, in this movie,
He's got a good, like...
He's got a great strained face.
Yeah.
But, like, their ultimate victory comes when Anthony Hopkins, like, sets his spear up in some rocks.
Nice.
And, like, it's got a big confrontation. Like, on the side of a river on some rocks where the bear, like, corners him. And he's like, I got nowhere to go. So the bear rears up to jump on him. And he, like, leaps. And then the spear's there. And the bear, like, full weight kills itself. Right. And it's like... Fuck yeah! It's, you know, that man moment where you're like, they did it. They fucking killed this bear.
They got this bear.
Fuck yeah! And they're like, cool. And then, like, they set up camp and they're like, you know,
are you fucking my wife?
Well, yeah, they've kind of like, they've almost settled their differences by now.
Right.
And you're like, this movie's about to end, right? Like, it's almost over. And then out of nowhere, it's like, I'm planning to kill you. And it's like, wait a minute. Alec Baldwin, what? And then it turns into...
did the whole bear
and then it totally just turns back into the other movie. It's like they were like, we don't have enough runtime for this thriller in the woods.
Yeah.
Let's put a bear in. And I think that's why I picked it. It encapsulates real animal attacks, which happen... At the worst times.
Yeah. They're pretty inconvenient. I'll have to agree.
Every time.
Yeah. Pretty inconvenient.
Oh, man. And then it's great. And then Anthony Hopkins, like, there's, like, a bit more, and Anthony Hopkins eventually kills Alec Baldwin as well. He does have a super thug moment, though, at the end. He shows up to the cabin where his wife's waiting for Alec Baldwin, and he's all fucking beat to shit.
Like,
and she's like, what happened?
Honey, I'm home.
Well, he's like, the plane crashed. Nobody else made it. They saved my life. And he gives her Alec Baldwin's, like, watch, and he just gives her a fucking real shitty look. And it just kind of, like, ends.
Well, that's good. He doesn't say... Oh no, I murdered a bear and your boyfriend. What are we gonna do about this?
That might be the first thing I say. At least the bear part. Like, I had to kill a bear.
I killed a fucking bear.
I would never do anything around the house again.
No.
Like, I killed a bear.
Remember that time I killed a fucking bear?
Oh, I wouldn't even be excited about it. I'd be like, hey, could you, like, pick up a little bit? Like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I almost died to a bear. I'm done.
I killed a bear, yeah.
I'm done. Just kidding me.
I was gonna say, it's like, well, the bear is probably, like... a metaphor for his suspicion and paranoia, and he has to
Yeah.
get out of the way of it. But then it's just confirmed at the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if that didn't happen,
Right.
If like the bear thing was stretched like I don't know 15 minutes longer in the movie's runtime, and it ended with him and Alec Baldwin being like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, my marriage isn't very good. I think I just projected onto you, and it's nice now that we."
He's like, no,
understand
sorry,
each
I was
And
definitely
even, even if he was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, well, we kind of are. It's like that would be really interesting and
yeah.
too deep probably for a movie.
And he's like, yeah, but it's not like I
He's like,
hate you about it. I
Yeah.
just kind of...
now that
Just
we
kinda happened.
murdered this bear together, like it really put
it's a
everything in
growth
perspective.
moment. Yeah.
But no, it's so abrupt. He like no even sneaking about it. He's like, yeah, I was planning on killing you. And he's like, yeah, I was gonna crash the plane, kill you up here. It's gonna be
So it was he had like a Bane plan for the
it's
Dark
so
Knight Rises.
stupid. It's the fucking worst thing. But it's
Alec Baldwin was like,
it's
crushing this plane.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like almost like if the movie had opened with the plane crash and been like a 45-minute short,
Okay.
it'd be perfect.
Sure.
It'd be fine. Like it'd be really satisfying. But there's just this weird first and like there's a weird lead in and outro to it. Like
You
there's
could-
a bookend that's not right.
Right. You could edit it pretty cool where it's just like it opens with they're on the plane.
Ooh.
And then you edit in
Like immediately, like, you go back and forth constantly.
exactly,
Yeah.
but only during the plane part, because then when it crashes, it's just fucking survival. But when you're on the plane, they catch glances and stuff. It's like, oh, do these guys know each other? And then it starts flashing back to both of them, and you realize that the woman that they're talking to is the same woman.
Yeah.
And then plane crash.
you could pull something real good.
That'd be cool.
That's you know what Hollywood remake The Edge.
Interesting way. You're welcome.
Yeah, don't remake good movies. Remake almost good movies.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Definitely.
Make not so good movies good.
Mm-hmm.
I will take my payment in small unmarked bills.
Small, like tiny little bills.
No, yeah, I want hundreds, but they're tiny. Yeah, that's
People
what I
can't find them. I put them in the little
want.
change
exactly.
pocket.
That's
that
what I,
nobody
well,
checks.
yeah, exactly. This little where I usually keep my lighter, that little like pocket above the right pocket.
Well, I will knock the tennis ball back to you.
Oh yeah, this one was better. This one I liked. It was called Day of the Animals.
Oh shit! All of them?
All of them. And this kind of switched my my lane that I was in, because I was just gonna pick like, okay, what are the coolest animals that I could do attacks of? And then I found Day of the Animals. Like, oh, there's just movies where all animals go insane. That's what I want to see. So, okay, it's like, it's got Leslie Nielsen in it. Before Leslie
this
Nielsen
is
was like, I'm
pre-Airplane,
hilarious.
right? Yeah.
Before he realized he was hilarious.
What a weird midlife crisis.
But he's not the star. He's just one of the guys. Okay, so there's like a troop. They go into the mountains, right? And it's like a, I don't know what you call it. It's an excursion, I guess. But it's like this guy who's like a ranger, kind of. He's leading this group of people who want to just like go camping, go hiking, all this type of shit. You know what I mean? You don't bring any food, you don't bring any weapons. Sure. It's like, hey, look, we can rely on nature. It's good, right? But the movie is putting in this like, I mean, I don't remember what year it was. I should have wrote it down probably. But they're doing like a environmentalist kind of deal, because it was when the hole in the ozone layer was,
Right.
people were freaking out about it.
So like 80s.
It might have been the 80s, yeah, but I mean, it looked like the 70s, but who the fuck knows the budgets of movies these days?
Cheap 80s movies looked like old
Yeah.
60s movies.
Yeah, for sure. So, the hole in the ozone layer, the higher the altitude you are, it makes animals go batshit,
Right.
right? And they get like rabid, kind of.
Sure.
And they're like, okay, they're like walking through, and it shows a montage. Animals don't go crazy against each other.
Yeah.
They go crazy only on people.
Only on people. That's
Right.
weird.
So there's like, hang on, I had a list. So they're walking through the woods, and you got your average, it's going through the lame scene where they're going through everybody pretty much in single file line, and everybody tells like in one sentence what their character is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you two kids, you're gonna have fun up here. Young love, ha ha ha. Hey, professor, really loud, like, what you doing up here? You doing a paper? Aren't you that news lady on the TV? Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
You're that boy who wants to prove his father wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why would you say that out loud?
You got something to prove out here on this mountain, boy? Trying to beat the mountain, or the mountain's gonna beat you? Shit like that.
Thank you.
And then,
insightful white hillbilly.
Yeah, fucking well done, buddy. Nail on the head.
I'm a circus act. I can guess your weight too.
Yeah, so there's like, you know, hiking dialogue, blah blah blah. But there's like pumas, bears, hawks, wolves in the bushes. Just an action of snarling. I'm telling you, they're just in the bushes.
Where are they?
In the bushes.
Just in the bushes.
They're just
no, like
around.
geographically, like where are we?
Oh, in the mountains somewhere. I forget.
As you said puma, and I imagine like, why is this puma out here?
No, yeah. I don't know. It's somewhere, I feel like it's Colorado.
Of course. Well,
Somewhere like that.
it's one of those weird things. I always forget we
Montana.
have big cats running around.
Montana, maybe. Dude, it doesn't matter. It could be in fucking North Carolina. They would have put big cats in here. You know? But, yeah, no, and they're like mountain lions. Like, not even... Because, like, the Florida Panther even
Yeah.
is pretty big, but these are like motherfucking mountain lions.
These are shaved lions that they put in
Yeah,
Colorado.
they're legit. So, and they're just kind of like on top of rocks, looking down, snarling. Wolves snarling, you know.
Do they see them? Like,
They're pretty oblivious for the most part. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, dude, it was a really good part. They make camp. They start to notice something's kind of amiss because there's not any sounds going on. There's a cool Indian tracker guy too,
right on.
who is like, you notice there's...
Of course there is.
Yeah, obviously, because there has to be somebody who knows what the fuck is happening. You know what I mean? And he's just like, you know, he knows there's no fucking sounds. And they make camp for that night, and then just wolves out of nowhere just fucking grab this lady and kind of fuck her up. I think some other wolves attack some guys, but it's not really that big of a deal for them. But this lady gets fuckered up pretty hard. And so it was the couple, or no, yeah, that's right. There was that's one of the shitty intro dialogues is them like these two kids, this young couple,
Yeah.
aren't out there together. It's like, you two kids, you're gonna have fun up here. And then this guy looks at this lady who's like, I remember a couple that used to be like that. And she's like, yeah, well, you can go fuck yourself, more or less. I don't remember what her comeback is, but it's something like they're clearly an estranged couple who have gone up here to reconnect. And so this girl, or the female of this estranged couple, gets fuckered up by a wolf in the woods.
As you are.
It'll happen. You gotta watch your ass out here. So, here's the plan. We're going to, her husband, I guess, are gonna take her down this path that we know. Yeah. You're gonna go to this ranger station, and they're gonna send a helicopter down here to pick you up and take you out and get you some medical attention, so we don't have to stitch you up in the woods and carry you along.
It's not going to be good for you.
It's not going to be great. You're going to be hobbling along, you're going to get all infected, whatever. So they, it was probably my favorite. No, I'm sorry, because I'm thinking of ahead in the movie. It's not my favorite scene, but one of my favorite scenes was, so they're walking along, right? This couple. And I thought that it was going to be like, that's when they reconnect. They're like going through this harrowing thing together. Yeah. They're, going to be like, okay, I do love you. It's just all this shit is in the way and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Now there's these wolves.
And these fucking wolves are everywhere and pumas and hawks. It's insane. And So I think they trip or something. The lady trips, and he's just like, "Come on, we gotta go." And she's like, "No, I hate you. Go fuck yourself." And he's like, "Fine, walk on your own then," and starts walking away while these birds, these like buzzers, just start attacking her and pecking her and shit, and she falls off a cliff and fucking dies.
Oh my god.
And so I was like, "This movie's getting good. We're starting to pull the chain. We're revving up." I was pretty happy about it. Yeah, and the guy, there's a good amount of movie left where for the rest of the time the guy is trying to find his way through the mountains, and he like comes across a little girl whose whole family was killed by crazy ass animals, and so he, you know, obviously takes her on. She's like Newt from Aliens.
Of course.
She doesn't really say anything, but he's like, okay, well, fuck, I can't leave this goddamn kid out here, so let's go. He's, you know, I always hate to, like, I don't know, there's something about older movies where, like, the adults' behavior around little kids they just fucking found are strange.
Sure.
Like, they're just get, like, real attached right away.
Well, there's almost no reason. It's not like in Aliens where, like, the first, like, what, half hour is just establishing, like,
Ripley's daughter is
motherhood,
like,
you know,
died
yeah,
a month ago or whatever.
it's like it's like no, Ripley's a mom. She needs a new kid because her kid's gone, and
Yeah.
that's gonna tie into the motherhood theme. It's like that movie's like packaged. And most of the time it's like sure, grab the kid, but like,
Of course, grab the kid. Don't just leave it out
what are
there.
you doing?
The poor thing.
No, I'm with you. It's weird.
It's just it's the way they act too. Is just strange, and it's it's whatever.
And it's every movie involving disasters, or there's always a kid and somebody who's like, no, come on, you're with me.
Most likely, there's gonna be a kid around. Grab it up. You know,
grab it up.
grab it up. Someone's gonna like it. I mean, it'll fetch a high price.
Nah, leave her. Her
Yeah.
mother will never take her back if you touch her.
That's right. If you get your scent on her. I was thinking too, like nobody has pets. All the animals are going nuts.
Yeah.
Nobody has any pets. Nobody's
Maybe, like, brought a
concerned
dog or
with
something?
animals. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, it escalates fairly quickly because there's like animals start going crazy, like even in the town. You know, and this, I guess he's the sheriff or something. He gets a call from his deputy, and he's like, "Hey, the fucking army's here, and they're saying we gotta evacuate the town like now." And he's like, "What do you mean? It's like 2:00 in the morning." And this guy's like, "They don't give a fuck what time it is. It's time to leave, apparently."
For real.
Yeah. And, you know, there's animal concerns. I get it.
I mean, yeah.
But the sheriff, he doesn't give too hard of a fuck. And hangs up the phone and is like, "Whatever, dude." And goes into the kitchen and just takes out a whole chicken with tinfoil on it, and I guess he's gonna eat some chicken snack, and
Sure.
he turns
Midnight
around,
chicken.
midnight chicken snack, been there, dude, and he turns around, and there's just automatically there's like a dozen rats on this chicken, which all start to lunge at him, which is clearly just somebody off camera throwing rats at this guy.
This is the best.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's just like holding a rat onto his face, going like, "Oh, it's got me.
I
Yeah.
can't get it off.
Yeah, like you do when you're playing with a kid, where you're like got their stuffed animal and you, "Oh no!" The kid laughs. I was laughing. It worked. It's the same. Now that I think about it, it's the same thing. I'm the kid, and it's like, haha, he's crazy. Anyway, so I think they figured out pretty quickly after being attacked by rats that time to get the fuck out of Dodge. So there's some mobilization bullshit happening. Cut back to the woods, you know, where there's some even more splintering happening because Leslie Nielsen is like an advertising executive who keeps challenging the authority of the ranger guy, who's just like, whatever, dude. Clearly you're not super good at your job because we're all fucking hungry. Every campsite is deserted.
What? If somebody's like, yes, the man who writes commercials, he will lead us out of here.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly a bunch. Surprisingly a bunch of them. Surprisingly a lot. Actually, it's a fucking gangster B movie. I was pretty pumped about it because there is a split that happens. he's like, you know what? I'm leading. We're gonna go up to that fucking ranger station, and we're gonna go call for help. And the ranger guy's like, look, man, we gotta stay together. We gotta get down off of this fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Because something's weird. Some shit's going on. And clearly, if they had made it to the ranger station that you're talking about going to, we would have seen a motherfucking helicopter come.
Yeah.
And it didn't come, so they didn't fucking make it. That's not good. Let's not go up there. You know what I mean? We'll just stick together.
We've already dealt with wolves.
It'll be safety in numbers. Yeah, there's wolves everywhere. I think there was some puma attack too. I don't remember. There's honestly a lot more people should have been dead at this, like, more throughout the movie. A good amount of people do die, but it should have been like more periodically.
Sure.
Like, somebody should have died during the wolf attack, and this lady's murdered, or this lady's injured. I think there's a puma attack. I don't remember. There's pumas at least watching several times. They had a puma on set a couple times. So Leslie Nielsen is like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm fucking taking who's with me, and a couple people are like, I'll go with you, Leslie Nielsen. And but the more sensible people stick with the ranger guy, and that's when the best part of the movie happens. The real best part of the movie, where Leslie Nielsen goes fucking crazy in the woods. Where the next time you see him, he's got his shirt off, and he's fucking pretty good shape.
Yeah,
for older gentleman. You know, I don't think he was ever young. I've only seen him with white. He's like Steve Martin. I've only seen him with white hair.
He was just born with an old man face.
Yeah, he's just born. Yeah,
old man
born
face.
with pure. He's like Benjamin Button.
Curly white chest hair.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. And he's got like the old 50s body.
Sure.
You know, but he's like in shape. You can tell he's strong. And he's just like physically pushing these people along. Like, get the fuck going. God damn it. You know?
Picture pushing people and like one of the guys is like, where'd your shirt go?
Yeah. There's the young couple, a like city mother and her son are in his fellowship.
Jeez.
That's their clique. And so they're moving along. It starts to rain. It's like cutting around to give a little bit of exposition. And it becomes clear that it can affect humans as well. So that's kind of why Leslie Nielsen already was kind of a fucking
we're
aggressive
animals.
goofball. Right. Well, not a goofball, but he's like a dingus. He's like fucking making Indian jokes at the native guy. You know, he's just like, oh, fucking call him Kimosabi, and like he talk at him like this, and you know what I mean.
Meanwhile, like, that dude's name is like David.
Yeah, it's like something. I didn't even write it down. I should have, but it is something like
it's like
super innocuous.
It's like, man, I went to community college in your town.
It's fine. Yeah, I know you, Dave. What the fuck? Yeah, so it starts raining, and he's just like, no, I'm fucking boss around here. I'm the alpha, blah, blah, blah. And he decides that he's going to rape the young girl.
Oh.
Right? And he's just like, fucking, I'm boss out here.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm going to do. I want you. I take what I want. This is how I do it.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend, the kid, stands up and is like, no, obviously you can't rape my girlfriend. I'm not going to allow you to do that. I disagree with your assessment here. And Leslie Nielsen just is pretty much just goes, oh yeah, and impales him with a stick.
Oh my God.
Right away. No struggle, no fight. He just goes, and just impales him.
Well, when you get up and you open with, I disagree with your assessment.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't say that.
I'm really picturing that, and then just like not even like a hard cut. He just stabs. He gets up, like
the same shot from off screen.
He's like, you can't read my girlfriend. He's already mid-lunch. Like, they fucked up and don't have the middle shit.
Yes. I was thinking it's just one static shot. Like, Leslie Nielsen comes from the corner, he just stands up, left frame, the kid stands and goes, no, you can't rape my girlfriend. I disagree. And then from the right frame,
oh no.
That's horrible. Oh my god. So he kills him right away. And then I was watching this movie. I was like, oh no, because he was the only person that could have possibly stopped
That
him.
would have.
There's a child and a mom and this girl who's just like shivering in the corner, like, I don't want to get raped. Please don't rape me. And then he's like, too bad, this is about to happen. I'm going to take my prize. And then...
You're going to have weird old babies.
But, yeah. Weird Benjamin Button babies. But then, in the nick of time, a fucking bear comes out of nowhere and just Leslie Nielsen is not scared of it even a little bit. And it's like, let's do this, bear. And tries to fight it, gets killed. The bear kind of fucks off, I guess, eating Leslie, or they run away or something like that. But now it's just a squad of the kid, his mom, and the girl.
Which is not
super wilderness capable people, none of them. But they find a wrecked helicopter,
awesome.
And they get in it while these pack of dogs attack them. And they're just trying to hold the door shut, and then the dogs are attacking them. There's clearly somebody on top of the helicopter with like treats. Look, off camera.
I was like, what?
Hang on. Yeah. Is he just king of the helicopter?
Like, you meant, like, clearly it's like the dude with, like,
yes,
a lamb chop.
How they pulled off the dogs looking like they're attacking is there's somebody on top of the... Because the dogs
They look a little too happy to be there.
Well, there's that, and there's also the dogs are clearly trying to get on top of the helicopter.
Yeah, they're, like, jumping
They're
up.
not trying to jump in at it. They're not trying to bite at them inside it. They're clearly... You know how dogs, like, jump up on shit. They're trying to get on top of it.
Which to throw some kudos to Cujo. Like, they put the meat in the car.
Yeah.
Or they put the it was like a pheromone chip.
Yeah, I think it was something like that, or like some canisters or something.
You can't have a dude covered in pork chops dancing on top of a helicopter.
Yeah. I mean, they did. Or something.
Yeah.
Some guy was like waving something, come on, come get it. And I think it's just the one dog too, but it like cuts away and cuts back. I think it's just the one dog who was brave enough to jump up.
Yeah.
You know? The rest of them are just kind of like guffawing and causing a ruckus around it. Then there's more dogs. Lots of dogs, because it's probably just what they could get the most of.
Sure. They were like, we got a bear for the day.
Yeah, because there's another scene where the ranger, the Native American tracker guy, and the news lady, and the professor are the other group, the sensible group that stayed on the path
right on.
To get down the mountain, and they come across this like empty campground kind of. There's a bunch of cabins around, and then you slowly see like dogs poking their heads up, like from the roof. There's a dog on the roof, and they're just like looking at them, and they're just like, okay, and I don't see a dog in that cabin. Let's just beeline it to this cabin. They run in there. The dogs are fucking trying to get in there.
So it sounds like it's Jurassic Park.
Yes,
dogs are the raptors.
Yeah,
grizzly bear is going to be the T-Rex.
Yeah, that tracks.
Does the bear come back and save them? Kind of.
No.
Damn.
No. It actually, the ending fucking sucks. I was pretty let down by the ending. Because they make it down the mountain, right, in a raft. The professor gets killed by the dogs. The guy from earlier with the little kid in tow, they make it to the town, and he's like, well, I gotta make it to my car so we can get the fuck out of here. Don't worry, let's... And he like snaps on the little girl sometimes too, but it's like randomly. It's not like... He's just like shaking her like, you're a bad girl, let's go. And he immediately is like, I'm sorry, I'll never leave you again. All right. I'm like, hey, I guess high stress situation. Mostly it's just a shitty movie. But, so they're in this other truck.
Yeah.
Because they're getting attacked by, I forget what now. Something that made them get into the truck.
Right.
It's probably dogs or something.
Probably dogs.
You know? It's always dogs. It's easy to get dogs out there. There's dogs everywhere. So he's like, okay, I know I said I wasn't going to leave you again, but I got to leave you again. Because I got to go, that's my car.
Gotta happen.
He's pointing at it, he's like, that's my car. I'm going to go over there to that little blue car. I'm going to start it. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get you. We're going to get in the car. We're going to get the fuck out of here. All right?
Right.
Here we go. So he works his way over to the car. There's I think it was a dog again. I don't remember. It was some animal. Because there's so many. They hit you with a lot of animals.
Yeah.
It's like a Noah's Ark. You're getting your face ripped off. It's awesome. So this dog is like, and he's kind of like, okay, be cool.
Right.
You know?
Right.
He's kind of backing his way into the car. And there's a fuck ton of snakes in his car. Like rattlesnakes.
Why?
Because they're the animals, dude. And then they bite him.
Oh,
And he's like, oh, fuck. And then the dogs get on him and they start ripping him apart. And there's just like slow zoom in on this little girl's horrified face as she watches her last vestige of survival get torn apart.
Is that how it ends?
No.
Oh, because that'd be awesome.
I know, I thought so too. But it ends with these dudes in hazmat suits going through and they're getting like radio chatter. The whole thing's over with no real reason why. It's just over. And they are like trying to clear the area. All the animals are dead. You know what I mean? If the animals got affected by this ozone thing, then they die. And so there's a bunch of dead animals and shit. And they find the girl in the truck, and it's like, okay, I found this. They find the surviving people from the other group, which is the Native American tracker guy, the news lady, and the ranger. And that's fucking it. Credits, pretty much. Which sucks, because I was really hoping that that it would be a real environmentalist message movie, and the hole in the ozone would just get worse, and the altitude thing would get lower and lower and lower, because the high altitude is what was really making the animals go nuts. So I thought it was just going to get lower and lower, driving humanity underground like fucking 12 monkeys, you know?
Dude,
That's what I'm saying.
12 monkeys. Like, what if that was the point? It's like,
Exactly. What if this was,
hell yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just like, nah, it's over. Man, that sucked. We got to make sure this doesn't happen. Credits.
Well, at least that sounds bonkers.
It was
in like a pretty fun one.
It was super fun. I was kind of like I wasn't feeling good about it because of the deadly fish bullshit.
Right.
But I was like, oh, okay, thank God, Day of the Animals really fucking pulled it out. So, respect, Day of the Animals. Leslie Nielsen, other guys probably too. Go watch it. It's pretty great. Don't watch it now. I just fucking ruined it. But
Oh man. So my next movie is also a fun one.
nice.
It was almost what we were gonna watch tonight. Almost.
Oh shit.
But I felt like it has become maybe a little bit more well known in recent years.
Okay.
In one of those weird rediscoveries. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but Monkey Shines.
Monkey
Shines.
It was on the list.
It's
But I didn't watch it.
so good. Okay. Most of you, even if you haven't seen it, if you've seen Malcolm in the Middle, you know the plot to Monkey Shines. There's an episode where... there's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle that is literally just Monkey Shines. But it's Hal instead of the main guy.
Right.
So, I forget what the main guy does, but he loves jogging. He's like a rich, very successful man. Stud muffin. It's actually a Stephen King adaptation, by the way, which makes sense for what's about to happen.
Is he a writer?
I don't think he's a writer, but he does get hit by a truck in the movie.
Yeah.
So he, it's even better. It's even way better. So he's like, oh yeah, I go jogging, and like I got kind of bored with jogging, so now I jog with a backpack of cinder blocks. He has a backpack of cinder blocks, like bricks.
That's horrible for you.
So he's like running around like, yeah, having a good time, and then the truck just fucking beans him. And it's almost, if the core idea of the bricks in the backpack wasn't stupid, he gets hit. They don't show the hit, but you do see the backpack go flying and smash.
That's not how backpacks work.
No, it's not. I don't know how it comes off, but I'm like, I get it. You show something break symbolically. If only this wasn't stupid. Like the idea of him having a backpack full of bricks.
Right.
But yeah, so he ends up being paralyzed from the neck down.
Jesus.
It's great.
You get hit by a truck, it sucks.
Yeah. He's all messed up. He's like, I'm never gonna live healthily again. It's over for me.
He was pretty into being healthy if he was jogging with Yeah.
So he's all depressed, and he's like thinking about quitting it and be like, fuck it, I'm done. But then they're like, well,
What? Just killing himself?
he gets.
How's he gonna do that?
He's convince somebody to like.
I'll figure it out. He's got one of those Christopher Reeve puff and blow things.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
He's got a little puff and go.
So he could go to a fucking
Off a cliff,
flight of stairs,
pool,
yeah,
something.
pool. There you go. That's probably the way to go.
So he gets like a nurse, but he's like kind of shitty to him. So they're like, well, we have this like experimental idea. So they introduce him to a monkey in a diaper. This little monkey, who's it's like a I don't think it's not a capuchin.
Like
it's
a macaque.
Yeah, it's like Ace Ventura's monkey, but it's like a bigger one.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, look, it's this little monkey. It's going to help you. And he's like, how? And it's like, well, we spliced its brain with human genes.
Oh, Lord.
So it can empathize. And they do this thing where it like, they bond it to him. So it's like, yeah, it knows what you're feeling. It's going to react. And it is. It's a super helpful monkey.
Nice.
And it's all super chill. And for like 20 minutes, it's just this dude and the monkey having the best time. Like he's like sitting there and then it runs up and he's like, I didn't even think I was thirsty. And it's like, and he's like, thank you.
Like a juice box?
Yeah, and then it like pats him with like a napkin. It's the nicest thing possible.
Dude. I want to...
It's so good. It's got a little diaper and it's dust and everything. It keeps his house nice. And he like has like a weird like will to live again.
Through the monkey.
And there's a lady who's like...
It's beautiful.
There's like a weird monkey lady trainer, like the one who's like, well, yeah, it's because it's
she's a monkey lady?
No, there's like a lady like she is a monkey trainer lady.
She's not like a Planet of the Apes lady.
What's her name? Zara? Zira. That was close.
Cornelius and Zira.
But yeah, they're like, yeah, well, it's because you guys are bonded. It's like you feel good because she feels good, and she feels good because you feel good. I'm like,
everybody wins.
Great, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still paralyzed, but whatever.
But I mean, at least I got a monkey.
At least I got a cool monkey out of it. But then like he starts trying to do physical therapy because they're like, well, maybe we can like fix you.
Okay.
And there's like a bit of like he just starts getting frustrated because he really can't nail it. He's like getting mad and he hates his nurse and shit. And it's this fucking amazing scene where he's like angry in his bed, like he's sitting in bed pissed off at his nurse, and like it starts doing like weird flashes, and the monkey starts freaking out. Like, it's like, and it's like, what is happening? So then the monkey murders the nurse.
I was gonna
straight up murders her, and it's purely because it's responding to his frustrations and things, and his jealousies and anger.
But now the monkey is like, how are we gonna hide this body? Because that's what he's feeling.
It's it's super weird. The monkey gets away with a lot of murders.
It's a monkey.
It gets away with it, and it's like, who else would do it?
You let a monkey do a lot of stuff you don't even know.
Sure, but yeah. So the movie proceeds as almost like clockwork of like him doing a thing, monkey's having fun.
Right.
He gets a little annoyed with somebody. Monkey either kills them or wants to kill them. Yeah, and it's
just getting the stink eye from monkeys.
Yeah, it's super weird. And there's like a love interest, like his
with the monkey.
It's either like a physical therapist or it's the monkey's trainer. They have the most awkward sex scene ever.
Because
I know what you're saying. He's paralyzed, right? So what basically just happens is she hangs from some stuff, and he kind of goes up on her. That's pretty much the whole scene, and it's fucking really awkward.
She hangs on.
So she hangs over him, and then he goes up on her, like he's going down on her, but it's like he's in a chair.
I get that part of it.
I don't know if the audience does, man.
Okay,
going up on her is not even a real thing.
You should.
I'm saying it.
Yes,
on
it is.
A whim.
Thanks to Monkey Shines.
Thanks to Monkey Shines. But it's super weird.
Well, it's better than her just like. Just what? Swatting at his cock and balls?
His limp, paralyzed dick.
It's horrible.
But then, like, so despite the fact that the monkey seemingly was only going after people that he was angry with, now it wants her dead.
Wants her dead?
I don't know why.
Jealousy.
I think it's like jealousy, but like it
shouldn't.
It's one of those.
If
weird
they're
things.
Linked up, shouldn't the monkey want to fuck this lady?
Or be at least into her? You know. Like,
what if
happy?
Like she was, like straddling his face, and she's just like, "Ooh, hello," and turns around, and the monkey's just there with a finger, it's like, "No."
It's a little helpful, little pat. What's that? And if you see this monkey, it's got the best smile.
Yeah,
It's got a horrifying smile.
Yeah, with the fangs.
Yeah. I mentioned
this monkey smile. Yeah.
I mentioned the Malcolm in the Middle episode. It's literally their weird neighbor Craig gets like hurt and can't move around too much, and like he's paralyzed, and his monkey. It's funny because in that episode there's no setup. The monkey just wants to kill him the whole time. It's super great, and you get a sweet fight where Hal tries to beat the monkey.
Right.
So
it's a good show, man.
It's a great show. But Monkey Shines proceeds almost, like I said, like clockwork until it has to have like a climax where she wants to kill the love interest. So then you get this like
It's a girl monkey?
Yeah, it's a girl monkey.
Okay. I don't know if you mentioned that or not. I mean,
so he starts getting like angry towards the monkey because it's like coming out like, what the fuck have you been doing, monkey?
Hey man, I'm trying to get this pussy in my face. What do you can't be
cutting people's brakes and shit? What are you doing?
Is he really?
There's
a little monkey with like pliers.
They get away with a lot of nonsense. So yeah, he starts getting angry, and the monkey gets like frustrated with him, and you get a lot of great like shots where like the monkey's there with a pillow about to put over his face, and then like leaves it. And there's so much like almost monkey death.
Right.
It's great, and then like it's they have to fight the monkey. The monkey like incapacitates the lady, and then he's got to deal with it. He's got to deal with the monkey.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, it's the best. He like gets it to like leap on him, and then he bites it by the throat.
Oh god!
It's got a great like where he's like thrashing this monkey, he throws it. It's just it's nonsense. It's a wonderful little movie though.
I think you're better off if you already know you can pull some strange while still being paralyzed. I think it's a better asset to have the monkey around.
Yeah.
You know? You just got to keep those bad feelings out. I think girls will be impressed by your monkey. You know? And they're going to be like, oh, he's so cute. Look at him. It's like having a dog on the beach when you're jogging.
I do wonder who changes the monkey as I was like really revisiting it.
Good call.
Cause, like, it's just him and that monkey the whole movie.
You think that, well, it's got human brains in it.
Yeah.
You think it would just
it might know how to use
change
toilets.
itself.
It might just have the diaper as like a precaution.
Right?
I bet you it has a diaper because the actual monkey kept pissing on things.
Well, actual monkeys don't give a shit where they use the bathroom.
That was probably like the monkey in canon can use toilets, but like...
But this real monkey just shits where it pleases because it's a monkey.
It's great. No, Monkey Shines is super fun.
It was on the list of things, but I was like, I wanted a little, you know...
I would definitely watch it and then immediately find the Malcolm Mill episode because I almost prefer the Malcolm in the Middle one because there's not like weird sci-fi elements.
Right.
And the monkey is out the gate just a monster. Like I had it as a desktop background when I was real young, but there's a shot of the monkey holding a butcher knife, and I loved it so much. I want to take it, Photoshop it, and put like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on it,
or like a flag in the background.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh man, but yeah.
Sounds cool.
It's super, and it's one of those that most of that movie is him moping or like lamenting that he ran that day with a bag of bricks on his back.
Well,
or just
if it wasn't you now, it'd be your lower lumbar later.
And that's one of the things. There's so many scenes of him just like hanging around, going, "Hey, what are you doing? You can dust things? Oh my god, you're a godsend!" Like he's so amazed by this monkey. There's so many shots of him just being like, "Wow, whoa, she knows exactly how I like my pillow fluffed.
What a fantastic monkey!
What an invention of science! If only they could fix my legs." And if I remember correctly, forgive me, I remember there's a fight. It's weird. They fix him at the end. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember it because I didn't get a chance to rewatch Monkey Shines. I did get to watch the next one, but I remember them fixing him and being like, well, what was the point of this? People are dead.
Yeah. This monkey is dead.
Oh, no.
This miracle monkey. This monkey miracle of science. This medical monkey miracle.
Medical monkey miracle.
Has met its mortality.
Oh, no. So what is your second move?
My third movie.
Oh yeah, we're on thirds.
Man.
We're on thirds now.
Yeah. Was actually a fucking really good one. I enjoyed it. I watched it just before I came over here today. It was called Phase 4. You ever hear of this movie?
Mm-mm.
Dude, pretty fucking... It was the best movie I watched, actually. It's, these... I'm pretty sure it's something from space. It's got a super trippy astral opening. And these...
Hey, a weird side note about Monkey Shines. I totally forgot. It's a fucking Romero movie.
Oh, no
It's
shit.
a George Romero movie.
Like early Romero?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be early Romero.
No. Well, yeah, 'cause early Romero's.
Is in the fucking 50s.
Yeah. But no,
But I was thinking of Del Toro for some reason. It's like, no shit.
Back when he was 6.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a movie about monkeys.
I like the monkeys. You should, Del Toro. Monkeys are cool. Especially medical monkeys.
So Phase 4.
Phase 4 starts in space.
Which,
Technically, everything starts in space.
I'm wondering where the animals come in.
We'll get there. Okay. Right away we'll get there.
Right on.
Something is happening in space. These signals or something, it's super vague. And they beam down and start, like, either possessing or communicating with ants. And the ants, usually when, like, colonies of ants are next to each other of different types, they fight with each other.
Yeah.
They stop doing that.
They
start communicating. There's a shot in here of like it'll go through ant tunnels and stuff, and I don't know how they do. This is what I was gonna bring up with once upon a time in the West too. I don't know how they train insects to do stuff, because these ants are just hanging in a circle.
Yeah. And
they're all different types of ants. They're just like rearing up and moving around and not just scurrying off being ants. You know what I mean?
With ants specifically, there's actually like you can kind of pheromone train them to like hang out. Like, they'll stand there.
That makes sense.
And
I mean that's how they move around anyways.
And you film enough ants doing stuff, you probably get enough shots where they don't run off and murder each other.
Right. Because they do. Okay, so the ants, because there's...
I think when you mentioned Once Upon a Time in the Woods, you mean the flies?
The fly on his face.
I think that's like either, I don't know, I've always wondered about that fly.
How did they fucking do that?
I don't know.
It keeps me up at night.
It must be dead, right?
I don't know.
Does it land? I can't remember if it lands.
I think it lands, but... I thought it like goes away and just comes back.
I don't remember. I know there's a fly that's like
there's in the very beginning.
Yeah.
There's a
train
fly,
station.
Yeah, that's on this dude's face, and he's just like,
maybe there was just a fly
trying to get. Maybe I don't know, man. Fuck.
So these
it's a very Sergio Leone thing to just be like.
I'm glad you have a good ant one, because like I was looking, like I was trying to find like an ant one. I was like, I want an ant one.
Phase 4.
Find a decent one.
Watch Phase 4, dude. Phase 4.
I settled on something else that kind of like caught a feel I wanted, but it's like it might be an easy pick, so I'm a little
right. No, dude, I reckon it's on Amazon Prime Video. Fucking Phase 4, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's it was really good. So these ants are super smart now, and they're communicating with each other. There's kind of a voiceover going of like, okay, well, in this certain area, we started noticing the ants stop fighting with each other, and everything that preys on ants is fucking gone.
Which means we need to leave the planet.
So we need to, pretty much. Well, we need to go there and see what the fuck is up with these goddamn ants.
Sure.
So they go down there. This doctor guy gets a dude who's a communication specialist with animals.
Yeah.
And he was, but like with mathematics somehow, he uses, like he was just talking with whales, I think they said. But he says in there, he's like, look, I don't know the fucking front end of a whale from a hole in the ground. I'm just good with numbers. Yeah. And we worked out an algorithm to figure out what the fuck the whales we're talking about.
I don't know why I'm here. I know sign language, and I taught a gorilla sign language once.
Yeah, I really don't know anything about ants. You know, I don't know.
Does anybody know anything about ants?
I don't think so. They like sugar, I think. They're always around when I spill my soda pop. Anyway, so they go and like this. They're trying to evacuate the area that they're gonna operate in.
Sure.
So they go to this farmhouse, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta get the fuck out of here, man. It's crazy. And they already know about the ants. They've taken precaution. They have this moat that constantly, they've run lines through these fuel drums into a moat around their property that he's like, hey, we're ready. When the fucking ants come, we're going to light this bitch up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fire moat. It doesn't work. It actually opens. There's like buildings or like a house out in the middle of, because this takes place in like northern Arizona.
Sure.
So there's like a house out there. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's just kind of on the plateau out there, and it's just collapsed. They're like, "What the fuck happened here?" It's like, I wonder. No idea.
Could it have been ants?
It's probably just old. Turns out, it's fucking ants.
Ants.
Because they're killing whole fucking like antler down on animals.
Yeah.
Like they go out to this, they're like clear out this area, and there's just like a perfect square of grass inside of a circle of dead grass.
Yeah.
Like a big circle of dead grass. And there's like dead sheep in it. And they look, and like through the wool of the sheep, there's like these puncture marks, these 3 holes. Yeah. And ants are just crawling out of it. And I was like, oh shit. Like these ants are not fucking around. And so these ants fucking assault the farmhouse. They are starting to eat this girl's horse. So the dad has to come out there. He's like, fucking light the fire, Enos. I don't remember if his name's Enos. But he looks like an Enos. So he drops a match and fucking fire moat goes up. The dad has to kill the horse because it's getting eaten by ants, and the girls are like, fucking no, don't kill the horse. But they have to fucking, what are they gonna do? Just let it get eaten by ants?
Like, what do you want?
You can't hose it off.
You want to scream all night instead of being dead?
So they're trying to mobilize, and this is after they've already said, hey, you gotta get, for your own safety, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
So at this point, it's like, you guys are obvious casualties.
Yeah. So they shoot the horse, they get in their truck, and they're getting the fuck out of there. And as they're going down the road, the wife is like, oh, we should have. They told us to leave. We should have left. I can't. Why did we fucking stay here? And she sees in like his hairline an ant. Oh. So she starts swatting at him. And he's like, what? He's trying to drive. What the fuck you doing? And then she starts looking up, and there's ants in the truck.
Of course.
And so she starts to try and get out of the truck. And he's like, what the fuck? He's trying to drive. He's just getting swat at it, and then he looks over, and she's trying to get out of the truck. He's like, what the fuck you doing, lady? And tries to pull her back in, kind of like skids the truck, crashes the truck, and then he's running out there swatting at himself. Everybody's like, there's fucking ants everywhere.
Of course. And
they're running toward this dome. The scientists have constructed this silver dome, right, with these like these channels with pods coming off of it. Right, and so they're running toward it, and the proximity alert that they have detects ants because the truck had brought the ants over there.
Yeah.
So these little pods spray out goop, like yellow goop, and it's like a defense mechanism amongst the ants. It kind of shuts them down and just kills them all. Yeah. Right. And but it kills the people too.
Well, yeah, it's probably like fucking pesticides.
Yeah, but a combination of that and the ants.
Yeah,
the people die. And so the next day they go out there to check it out because the ants fucking get into the generator that's in the truck and just block it up with bodies.
Sure,
they just they're ants, so they just kind of like just go inside until it doesn't work anymore and fucking explodes the truck. It's fucking chaos. There's people dead out there. And so they go out there the next morning, and they find the bodies, and they're like, oh shit, not fucking good. One of the guys, the dude who's good with numbers, is like, dude, we gotta fucking call somebody about this. It turns out the girl's still alive. She took shelter in like one of those Twister-style cellars.
Of course.
You know what I'm talking about?
You would think under like a cellar would be full of ants.
You would think, but it's fine. I think the ants weren't in this area really.
Yeah.
They were. Oh, dude, that's right. They build these the ants when the scientists get there. They have these like monoliths in the desert that aren't they're ant piles, but they're like rectangular prisms.
Cool.
That are just in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And there's fucking nothing's happening. So these guys go out there with fucking grenade launchers and grenades.
Yeah.
And which is what I was talking about in Orca. I was getting confused. He's like, he's got a fucking grenade launcher, but he doesn't. It's the guy from Phase 4 has a grenade launcher. And it's just like a tube, and he just goes out there, just blowing up the ant piles. And he's like, actually, I have it written down. He says, yeah, there's this badass shot. He shoots all these ant monoliths down, and he just goes, let's see some activity. And then it cuts to, them making numbers and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So they have the poison out there. They're kind of like being like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do with this girl? The one numbers guy are like, well, what are we gonna do with this girl? And the guy is kind of like, I don't know, we'll call for a pickup maybe, but we're probably just gonna have to leave her here.
Yeah.
Because if we call our higher ups and they come get her, they're not going to be too happy that we have casualties on this ant study
Immediately.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but he's like, dude, fuck the mission. People are dead. Like, and this girl's got to go somewhere. What are we going to do? So,
Can you do?
what can you do? And it turns out, not too much.
What was that statistic? They were like, all the ants in the world have more body mass than us.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Dude, we're done.
Yeah. Especially if they unite.
Oh, if they united, it'd be over.
It's over. Super over. Mega over. Let's see. It's pretty complex, actually. Okay, not too complex.
I mean, there's more going on than...
Animals are just killing people for
Yeah.
no reason. But they start to try to communicate with the ants, right? Because they... no, I'm sorry, I'm missing a chunk. There's actually a pretty good sequence of this ant takes a chunk of the poison that they use for their perimeter, right? And it's taking it back through its tunnel and dies. And another ant comes up, grabs the little rock of poison and takes it back a little while and then dies. And then another ant comes, grabs it, takes it back as long as he can, and dies. So on and so forth until it gets to the queen ant. And the queen ant just eats the poison, and then her eggs change color to the color of the poison. So now they have ants that are immune to the poison.
Of course.
Brilliant. Yeah. And
it works like that?
Yeah, these ants start to... They shut down the air conditioning. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They look outside and they're like, what the fuck is this? And the new ants that have adapted to the poison have built these reflective surfaces, like ant piles that are reflective surfaces pointed toward the dome, and they're just overheating the dome. And he's just like, dude, they've been out there for an hour and a half. It's up 5 degrees in here. We got to figure something out.
Scrap it.
Because
nuke it.
It's 10 in the morning. We're in the desert.
We got to get out of here.
So we got to figure something out. But the lead scientist guy's like, no, we have to show them man doesn't back down. We have to show them that we have a chance to educate these new beings, to show them the consequences of what happens in their actions and stuff, so that they can go back and, like, you know, so they can learn from this. And this guy is like, well, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I want to get out of here. So he tries to call for a helicopter to get the fuck out of there. And ants have fried the circuits of the communicators. So what are you gonna do? I guess we're in a chess battle with these fucking ants.
Tell that head scientist, like, have you ever seen The Fly? Have you ever heard of an insect politician? Those are things insect politics.
Come on. They're not super... They're not into talking.
It'd be great, though, if, like, they immediately did, and, like, the rest of the movie was, like, UN proceedings with the ants, like, as their own nation.
They, like, it'd be cool. There's a pen with, like, fucking 20 ants on it signing.
We gave them Australia. We thought nobody would mind.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a bunch of ants out there anyway.
The ants are all sailing over there.
Yeah. That would be cool. Little tiny canoes.
Yeah,
like the
made
of
soldiers. Fire ants and stuff.
It's the end of Small Soldiers. You know? Actually, no, they do clump up in water, so it would work. You don't have to give them little tiny pirate boats. It'd be nice if you did though.
Somebody probably built one and like, oh, you guys can like, all right.
Ah shit! I did this whole.
I built like a really nice boat.
No, it's not for. It's not for you. I did this.
Yeah, it's whatever.
This yeah, it's for my
Built like
kid.
a cute Ellis Island boat.
Yeah. It's for my kids. For I mean,
Throws it out.
yeah. You're just walking by a garbage can. Just yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So the ants fry the communications with the outside world, and they fry the air conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
And their computers don't run past 90 degrees. Humans can survive, you know.
Sure.
He says like upwards of 120. It's not comfortable, but they can survive. So their computers only work at night now.
Yeah.
So they like during the day they're just gonna try and fucking figure something out. And so this guy's trying to could communicate with the ants through mathematics.
Yeah.
It's like anything in intelligent knows math. So he starts trying to communicate with him, blah blah blah. He communicates with him.
Hey, cut it out.
Yeah, quit it. Can we live in peace?
We just wanted
There's
to fucking talk.
a super ambiguous ending actually, which I don't think they really like. I don't think they really
Knew
a framework. They just knew they wanted to make a super smart ant movie and didn't know why the fuck they wanted to make it or how the fuck that would come about. But it was still fucking really good. Honestly, I want you to watch it. I'm not going to give away too much.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
All right.
I'm skipping over a bunch of shit, obviously, because we're doing bullet points here.
Sure.
But it was super good, man. It's like some weird fucking existential ending where it's like open-ended, like strange. Not everybody makes it out. But there are, you know, humans at the end are not necessarily dead.
Sure.
And fucking this, you remember at the end, it's like, oh yeah, this came from space, I think, somehow.
Yeah.
Which I forget. And the visuals are really cool. The camera work is well done. It was just a solid movie. The acting was actually pretty good too.
I'll have to look it up.
So it was good. Phase 4. Phase IV. It was super good. I enjoyed it. There's a scene where ants are collecting their dead and putting them in perfect little rows. And they all sit around and mourn. They like weep in mourning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking super good. And they use it with like theremin too, so it's all just like
Awesome.
yeah. It was cool, man.
If I was watching, I'd be like, oh man.
No, yeah, it was
Come down.
the whole a lot of time I was watching, I was like, how do they get these fucking ants to do this shit? And super close-ups of ants too, so it's cool. You get to see all their little mandibles and their fucking
their weird
dude.
faces.
So cool.
Let's check that out.
Fucking
So my last movie is, like I said, I think it might be a little bit of a cheat. I almost think it might belong on the list of movies not to talk about, but I feel like it's one of those movies that nobody talks about. So
close
I
enough.
felt it was fine, and like I said, I couldn't find an ant movie that I liked, so this one kind of had like that feel that I was looking for.
Okay.
I ended up checking out, or going back to Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. I almost watched that one too.
It's what's his name? It's Jeff Daniels, right?
Jeff Daniels. I haven't seen that motherfucker in a long time.
Yeah. Well, it's because what is he doing? You know,
Jeff Daniels.
except for Dumb and Dumber. Well, he was in
No. I haven't seen Arachnophobia in a long time.
yeah.
But
He was in
also,
Newsroom, yeah.
actually, I just saw Jeff Daniels the other day. I watched Pleasantville.
Nice. That's a good one.
That's so good.
But anyway,
is really
Arachnophobia is. I went with it because I was like, I wanted like an ant movie because I was like thinking about how like ants, like fire ants, were the big deal in the 90s.
Yeah.
We all thought they were going to take over the country,
Well,
and they didn't
They're
make
organized.
it very far. But it was
good
one
thing
of
they
those
didn't watch Phase 4. It would have been fucking DEFCON 1 out here.
built reflective heat lasers.
Yeah, dude.
So Arachnophobia is maybe the most. I mean, Monkey Shines involves brain surgery on monkeys, so Arachnophobia is kind of a bonkers movie though, in a weird way.
I remember it being pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it opens with some people hanging out in like South America, and there's like a guy gets bit by a spider.
Yeah.
And immediately starts having like horrible seizures. And it's like a newly discovered species of like, they say it's like an invasive species. It can integrate with other spiders, and
the super spider.
it's got the worst bite ever imaginable. So this guy dies, and this spider hides in his pocket.
Oh.
And they send him back to America in a coffin, and the spider kind of hitches a ride to America. Once he is buried, the spider bails, and it like finds Jeff Daniels' farmhouse and bangs all the spiders in his barn.
Nice.
Gets them all pregnant.
Right.
So they have all these spiders that are being born now that are like its ilk. It has the
Crazy
same
hybrid spiders.
Yeah, it has the same bite, but as is explained later by a like she's like an expert. There's like an was it entomologist for the bugs.
I think so.
They're like
Insects might be different from arachnids.
They're like they have reduced lifespans because they're weird crossbreeds, but they're also mindless. They're like drones. They're like sterile male drones, and most of the movie it's great because it's Jeff Daniels. He has a fun farm family, living his life.
I remember that part of it.
Yeah, it's like it's got a nice little slow build. You meet like the sheriff. You meet people around town. Victims. You meet the victims essentially for like 20-30 minutes.
Well, yeah, you got to build up. The first act, you build up the people that you will watch die.
Yeah.
For the next hour.
And it's kind of that, and it's a lot of archetypes. It's a lot of not as bad as like when your father died in the war and you still wear his army jet. It's nothing that bad, but it's clearly like I've seen that sheriff a million times. I've seen that lady who works in the diner. I've seen that nurse who's had too much bullshit on her plate.
See, those archetypes I'm not too angry at though.
It's just whatever. It's small town. It's small town stuff. Yeah,
it feels classic.
It's good. And Arachnophobia really feels like maybe it feels like a remake of a 50s movie that never happened.
Right. Those are cool.
And it's solid, so you meet these people and it kind of
like
just
Mars
turns
Attacks.
into
Mars Attacks is like a drive-in movie.
Yeah, Mars Attacks so good.
Yeah.
We'll have to get to that at some point.
We should. Aliens.
Inevitable Aliens episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you get people it's a lot of like people watching TV and like a spider's in the room.
Right.
It's like walking towards them and
a lot of like
the lady
descending on a web.
Yeah, the lady just happens to walk away as it like gets to her, and then eventually it settles in a dude's flip flop, and he puts his finger. He's like, "Ow, I got bit!" And then he just immediately froths up and dies.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, and so it's weird because that's almost the whole movie. Is like, why are these people dying? It's got kind of an issue where like people don't realize it's spiders for a while.
It's just some sort of epidemic.
Yeah, what's going on? And then they're like, how did spiders do this? And it's this whole thing, and it really just honestly boils down to just it's almost just watching all the people you met hanging out, and will the spider bite them? Flip a coin. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. An old lady, I think it's the wife gets fucking totally bitten. It's like dark because it's like this little old lady.
Oh no!
But yeah, it's super tight, and it's almost like I said, I picked it mostly because I was like digging for an invasive species movie where it's like they are literally they're not killing the other spiders. They're breeding. They can breed with other spiders, and it turns the males into like mindless drones. So there's this weird thing it's building, and you're with it. You're with that part of it because you're like, sure, whatever. Interbreeding, fine. It's like integrating into spider.
There's at least some like biology behind it. They're not like
you're totally cool with that, and it proceeds
they didn't
kind
come
of
from space.
It's one of those things where it's like it's just hyper competent. It's not like tricky. Yeah. There's not really much like to really go into. It's tense as fuck because it's like it plays really good on that idea of like everyone has turned to like looked up and been like, how long have you been there? Like big spider, and been like, fuck. That's the whole movie is just that sensation. Yeah. And I
gotta watch it again.
It's tight. It's super competent.
I've seen it a couple times, but it's been a long time. And I remember the spiders look really good.
Yeah.
Like the spiders look pretty good.
It's super neat.
And it's not like... You remember the spiders in Jumanji? The giant spiders in Jumanji that are just the worst animatronics you've ever seen. They're fucking terrible.
Obvious puppet spiders.
Dude, and they just kind of like robotically do like this. Fucking terrible.
Well, the best part about arachnophobia is a lot of those are just like spiders.
Yeah.
They just got like weird... I almost want to say it's like banana spiders. Like the ones, the actual ones. The little brown guys.
Okay. Yeah.
That like lay eggs in bunches.
Yeah, I think that's a banana spider.
It might be. I can't remember, but it's great. They talk about like they kind of go into like they at least put thought into the idea that the drones are mindless, but they spread out and just like clear cut threats so that the area around them is secure, and it's just a small rural town, so that just becomes the town. So they're just like, well, all the people need to die,
obviously,
and that's what they say. They're like, yeah, they're like little zombies. They just go towards a threat and they try and eliminate it immediately. And that's why their bite is so lethal and they don't live long. They're like little bullets, little missiles.
Right. Cool.
So it's kind of neat, and it's like plays on like that tension of like you never quite know. There's a lot of great shots where like people are just like talking, and there's just like a spider behind like a coffee mug, and like they keep like hand next to it.
Right.
Doing stuff like that, and
like your hand's like dangerously close.
The spider already moves, and you pick it up, and it's a lot of those. Like, oh my god, it makes you think like how often
a spider you wouldn't even know. Yeah,
you wouldn't even know because they're quiet and they don't really. And it plays very straight, very serious, very like believable, and then like you find out she's like, well, somewhere in town is the female that's laying all these eggs. And you're like, oh? And then she's like, and there should be the main male that's like breeding with her, the one that came down. And they start using terms like queen and general a little bit. And eventually it's one of those things where you're just like, I don't know, try the fucking barn. Because like you're in the audience, you know they ground zero's the barn. Right. So eventually it turns into let's go to the barn. And sure enough, there's 2 fucking dog-sized spiders in there, and it suddenly is a way different movie where Jeff Daniels is like, fucking giant, and they're like they're screaming, like shriek roaring, and it's like, this was a tense movie. And now it's fucking insane.
Now this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Honestly, it doesn't break it. It doesn't, maybe it doesn't elevate it, but it's almost like earned, where you spend so much time in tension that you're like, these are not, they're monsters. They're just done.
Yeah, with these tiny little realistic spiders, like, oh, thank God, aliens, because I thought I was gonna have to be really scared of regular spiders.
And they still hold to it. They're like, well, yeah, that's what the species does. Right. It's like, sure. Okay. It kind of plays out like you expect. They burn the whole fucking place down. Everybody dies. Or every spider dies. I don't think any of Jeff Daniels' actual family is hurt in any way.
I don't remember it being that kind of movie.
Yeah, no.
It's just townsfolk that get killed.
Yeah.
Archetypes get killed off, but Jeff Daniels' family is...
And he's great. He's great in everything.
Jeff Daniels?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's wonderful, though.
I like Jeff Daniels a lot.
Check out
point of order. The last episode, we were talking about parents, and we replaced Randy Quaid with Tom Arnold.
Really?
We sure did.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Sorry, Randy Quaid.
I mean...
Sorry, Tom Arnold.
Whatever, Randy Quaid. You're the second best Quaid. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, he's all weird now, right?
I mean, he already was, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. You fucking...
Your second string to a guy named
Christmas
Dennis.
Vacation, you motherfucker.
But yeah, Arachnophobia is super solid. I would say special mention, because I almost went with it as well, but watch Squirm. It's almost the same movie.
I almost watched Squirm, too.
It's almost the same movie, but with
earthworms. Yeah.
And what's the best part about Squirm?
Don't they like a lightning strike hits somewhere?
Lightning makes them mad.
Right.
There's lots of scenes, where it's just close-ups of maggots doing their thing where their mouth comes out, and then they just edit it in like Elks screaming. It's awesome. They try so hard to make them scary.
Yeah.
It's bad, yeah. Squirms are awful. Watch the Mystery Science Theater episode, though. Really good.
Oh.
Classic.
Okay.
But that wraps up our movies.
Yeah. I gotta watch Arachnophobia again.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
I was looking at it to be like, Nah, I'd rather watch. For these, I've tried to watch movies I've never seen before.
Sure.
And report them, do a little book report.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my book reports are fucking terrible. Maybe I'll get better as they go on. So I'm just like, and then this happens, and then this, and it's pretty close.
I mean, sure.
So, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna jump to the computer and
Animal
wrestle
attack me?
Huh? You gonna wrestle attack me? No. You mean a wrestle attacker?
Well, that
Oh,
ends
yeah,
our,
so-
well, that ends our movies.
Yes, real time.
And
real
you said
talk.
you had one.
I have only one that I remember,
Hit me up.
which is the fucking killer whale killing that lady at SeaWorld.
Oh.
Is fucking
Yeah,
awesome, dude. It's
Yeah.
so great.
It's messed up.
Oh, fuck that. It's not messed up. It's
Well, I mean, like,
glorious.
it's messed up, like...
that a bunch of kids saw it.
Yeah,
It's
and they
all messed
thought
up,
it was
I
like
guess.
thought they were playing. Like nobody
Yeah.
thought it was serious
Yeah,
for a
she
little
wasn't
bit.
playing because this giant fucking animal was just like, nah, I'm gonna. I could have killed you at any time. Today I'm going to.
Yeah, it's over.
Because you know what?
She
She fucked up somehow.
They probably showed them Blackfish, and they were like, "Wait, we're prisoners."
Are we? No shit.
I'm getting
no.
out.
They know they're prisoners.
That's
They're
why I
just
cried.
like Doug Stanhope. You know the stand-up comic Doug Stanhope?
Maybe I don't know.
Dude, he's got a fucking killer bit on it. Go ahead and watch that one. Like
A
Doug's
killer whale bit.
a killer whale bit and orca bit. Yeah, he's got a fucking really good bit on it that made me think of it.
Yeah.
Because I remember when it happened, but his little his stand-up comedy made me think about this, and they're just like you can't tell a killer whale what to do. It's like doing you a favor.
Yeah.
And I think once you start to get a little big head about that, now it's like, all right, bitch, check this shit out. You don't have to live if I don't want you to. And I don't think you understand that fact.
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach you and everybody here
Well, that's
that I'm in control. And I respect that. I love, that's why it goes back to the very beginning of this podcast when I say I fucking love animal attacks. I have another one I just thought about. There's a lion though.
Is that the it's not the magician. It's the magicians with the white tigers.
Oh
no, I'll say the white tigers.
I almost said Siskel and Ebert.
Oh no!
If they get attacked by tigers, it's a very different situation.
That's tragic.
What
What
are
is
you
a tiger
doing
doing?
around tigers?
How did that tiger get in there?
Yeah, or how did they get in that tiger pen? There's a lot of questions I have. Let's see. No, it was there's this video I saw once that was just like a security camera footage of this car pulling up, and this little Asian lady just gets out of like the shotgun position.
Yeah.
Just gets out and walks over to the driver's side, and nobody else is getting out, but she's clearly like yelling. She's ah, and then from up on the screen, a lion just out of nowhere just comes up and is like blink, and just yoinks her off screen, just takes off.
Wow.
And then that's
where did that
fucking
tiger
it.
come from? Where did the lion come from?
The lion, I guess they were on. This is all taken out of context for me, but I guess they were on fucking safari. They were on an African safari, and this bitch got out of the car. Are you out of your motherfucking mind?
That's why that car is at Jurassic Park lock.
Yeah.
Don't get out.
What are you doing? And I guess people got out to fucking help her, and she didn't die, but like 2 other people died.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She got other people killed because she was a fucking moron. I was like, let me drive. I want to drive. Let me drive.
I consider myself a pretty good dude.
I'm not getting out of the fucking
Unless
car.
it's like one of my, like you or like my wife.
Even so.
Well, it depends. If like you got out of the car and you were yelling at me, I'd be like, let him go.
Well, I said this to I was talking to my brother, right?
Right.
And we were talking about this very video. And he's the one who told me that 2 other people got murked, and she was like, fine.
Yeah, that makes
And,
me feel,
I-
makes me a little angry.
Want to eat her myself now.
The next video is her yelling like in a department store, and then you jump out of
Yeah.
it.
I was hoping it was like a dark some kind of dark thing, and I just unfold out of the shadows and
Like Mimic.
yeah, dude, you got mimicked. Don't fuck around.
Mimic was on the list of natural horror films, and I was like,
That's just not
those
really.
Those aren't animals.
They're science.
Yeah, they're super.
Right?
They're
Aren't they,
super.
like,
They're like
genetically
genetically
engineered?
altered. Yeah.
I like Mimic a lot.
Mimic
I have
is
the
tight
entire
stuff.
Mimic collection on DVD. I love Mimic. Me and my wife sat there and binge watch all of Mimic one time.
What's
It's fucking awesome.
the grandpa Mr. Spoon Hands or something?
Yeah, something. Yeah, it is something like that. Good call, Mrs. Spoonhead.
Because the kid does this spoon
yeah,
rattles with him.
he talks to the mimics. Yeah,
You know, the mimics are like
dude, you remember they had the one where they're like forming people.
the
faces?
second one. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
They start imitating people they've like taken.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, hey, bud, I don't know if I would feel compelled to go and try and fight a lion. You're like my favorite person,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
Now that,
definitely. If it's somebody like
well, I
you're
mean, not
close
my
with-
favorite real person. Wait till my son becomes an actual person.
Yeah. Well,
And
then we'll reevaluate.
Because he's just a little baby now. He's not even a real human being. He's just a screaming. Bah, bah, bah. But I was like, dude, I don't know if I would be able to fight a lion. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm not getting out of the fucking car. I'm like, I know you're not, because you're a logical human being, and nobody gets out of the fucking car in a safari. And if you do, you deserve to be murked by a fucking lion,
Yeah.
because that's dems the brakes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if it's like a chance accident, like, and it's somebody I'm like super close with, I'll try and help them. I might. Depends.
You gotta read it.
And now
read the situation.
Now that I got kids though, it's like, oh
Yeah, who's gonna?
Zach, I'm sorry.
It's like, I get it.
And you're like, but I have a kid too. He's like, I got two.
Yeah, true.
We're just, it's just, I was like,
At least we'd have that argument while I'm being murdered by a lion, or just like, and as you're screaming, like, who thinks it's cooler to get killed by a lion? I was like, me.
As I roll up the window.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's like, you know it's me. You know I'd want it more than you. Fine. I'd want to at least like stick my thumb in its eye.
You're like, just pretend like I got grabbed and you saved me.
Like, cool. I can die like that. Like I said, I want to at least like stick my thumb in its eye,
Yeah.
just so this one-eyed lion thinks of me the rest of his life. But other than
Bumps
that,
into shit. No, you rip the whiskers out so it can't
no.
find its way around bushes.
no, I still want it to survive.
I like the idea of it ending up behind fridges. And somebody like, oh, this lion, it's like,
Fuck.
it's like I can't get out. It's just a sad line.
Sad lion. I hate
Oh,
sad
man.
lions.
It's sad animals. But most of the time
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think you can be sad.
My son laughed at the Sarah McLachlan miserable dog movies or commercials. Yeah. He's fucking not even a year old. He doesn't know what he's laughing
Or
at.
just, saw dogs.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it was seriously straight up. It went. The lady goes, "These dogs are suffering," and he went. I was like, "Dude, all right, enough of that shit,
You little...
you little asshole." However, I do think a lot. I'm like, "Hey, just help the dogs. Put the camera down. What are you doing?" Anyway,
Oh, man. So
This isn't-
I got a few. I'm gonna...
Oh, yeah.
Two of them, though, I'll keep brief, like pretty brief, because...
do it.
Well, it's one of those things where they're pretty well known, especially between you and me.
Okay.
At least one of them, especially. And we're pushing about 2 hours, so I want to try and, like, last chunk, our main event still is coming.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I forgot about Orca.
So,
Orca.
first I was like, I wrote down, I was like, I didn't know if I was going to talk about him, but, like, honorable mention, Gustav the Crocodile is one of my favorite things on the planet.
Of course.
He's this massive crocodile in Africa.
Yes.
That just does whatever he wants.
Yes.
He, like, wanders into villages and
probably
bites
like
people.
120 years old.
Yeah. He, like, they've said in reports, he just bites people in half and leaves. Doesn't eat anything.
He's so
He's
gangster.
so big that, like, nothing can hunt him. Nothing. He's so big.
Primeval is based off him.
Yeah, the movie, the horrible movie Primeval.
I never watched it.
It's pretty fucking awful. But he's great. They did this documentary trying to catch him, and they like made a cage with a goat in it. They tried to Jurassic Park it, and like it like stormed really bad and the camera shorted out. And when they went back, the cage was like submerged, and there was no goat.
That seems like a setup.
It does, Doc. Yeah, totally. If the camera didn't go out, I'd be like, but the camera did, and it's like that seems convenient.
That's what I'm saying.
I would buy
That's some fucking Jeffrey Epstein shit.
Yeah, the goat did not kill itself.
Dude, what if Gustav
Killed Jeffrey
Epstein?
Then he could open doors.
He just came in through the vents of the ceiling.
Oh man, but he's great. I think the last time he was reported being sighted was, I want to say 2015. I think was what I read. Some guy said he saw him kind of sunbathing, and that was like the last time they've seen him. They don't know what's up with him. So I mean, he could just be somewhere. Probably could be dead.
I mean, he's old as fuck.
Yeah, he's ancient, and he's covered in fucking scars where people try to kill him and shoot him, and he's just whatever. He might actually be a dinosaur.
What if somebody bagged him? What kind of fucking
would have
legendary?
Somebody would gloat, you think, right?
Fucking kill would that be? Not if it's some fucking rad ass tribe, dude.
Yeah.
Just brought it back and there's like some fucking jungle cult of Gustav going on.
Dude. Unless there's some cult and he just went there. He's like, well, I chill for a couple years and I come back.
Oh,
and they're like fawning him and stuff.
Maybe he gets reincarnated into a new gator.
Fuck, it just gets bigger every life cycle.
Oh my god, that's awesome. He's a real dragon.
He's the last dinosaur. Yeah, the last dinosaur.
Jinx on dinosaur.
I wrote him. I also wanted to mention the Jersey shark attacks. This is actually where Jaws is based on. The book about these is what inspired the book Jaws.
Right.
Essentially what was just happening was along the Jersey Shore, people started getting eaten, up quick. A lot of people dead. It was literally Jaws. They were like, well, should we close the beach? I don't think we should. And then they
make some money.
They sent people out to kill sharks. They killed a great white, found no body parts in it, but then they said, it's over, we got him, bagged him, and then that was it. They called it a day, and for 2 weeks it was fine, but then all of a sudden people just started disappearing in the Jersey River.
Right.
And then they were like, well, nobody was caring because nobody was paying attention to the river. They were all at the beaches. But yeah, it was just this series. Tons of people got eaten up by this fucking one bull shark. Turned out, obviously, the big angry one that goes for people
and can also
go up rivers. Mm-hmm. But it was just can
swim in brackish water.
It's got a similar thing. It's got a really sad thing where a kid got pulled under and this dude swam over to help. It just got him too. It just immediately went for him too. It's fucking crazy.
Did the kid get away?
No, they both went down, which sucks.
Yeah, that's garbage.
But
that's not good.
I honorable mention that one just because it's inspiring Jaws.
Yeah.
And it really, if you look it up, it's I can't remember the final tally, but he got a lot of people before. I don't think they even caught it. They may have killed it, but they definitely were like, this is a bull shark. They were like, yeah, it's a bull shark. But it's just funny to watch. If you look into it, it's it was real life Jaws. They really didn't want to handle it.
Technically that what the fuck is it called? That the event that inspired the book Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Is an animal attack.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly just dudes starving to death because they got fucked up by a whale.
Maybe we should have added Moby Dick to the list, but
yeah,
I feel like that story is less of an animal attack and more of
a struggle,
a metaphor. Yeah, that's
struggle with nature, struggle with your own fucking obsessions.
Because it's really less about the best version of that movie, the Gregory Peck one from the 50s.
Yeah,
the actual Moby Dick fight is a minute tops.
Yeah. Usually it's a whole fucking scene.
Yeah.
What is that fucking called? The book that Moby Dick is.
I don't remember. They made Thor was in a movie version.
Yeah, it's all cannibalized and which probably wasn't as hard.
That had one of my that trailer has one of my favorite moments in it where somebody points a gun at him. It's like, you say you're afraid, and he's like, I will not. And I fucking did that all the time. Where it's like, really? Matt, can you grab this? It's like, I will not.
No, that's it's good in Braveheart too.
Yeah.
When he's throwing the rocks, he's like, you'll move. It's like, I will not.
I will not. Nope, not.
I will not.
The main real life attack that I wanted to talk about, I've mentioned it before. I don't know if I've really gone over it with you. I probably have.
Okay.
But was the Travis chimp attack. This one I found out about.
The chimp is named Travis?
His name is Travis.
Fucking, I was kidding, but thank
God. So this lady got him when he was
Travis.
So this lady got him when he was real little in Connecticut, and they were playing. I probably brought it up before.
I think I just know about it. She came home with a different haircut.
No.
Fucked her up?
No,
Oh,
different
okay.
one then. Almost worse. But
no.
So they were just known throughout town as like the lady with the chimp.
Sure.
And like all chimps, he got old, and you don't let super strong things go senile.
Yeah.
And weirdly, this was with digging into it. Travis was on like medications, like fucking like antidepressants and shit.
Oh,
and like
Lord.
there was one that Priscilla was like, "That's like speed." And yeah, so he was on all these medications. He was prone to violent fits. He had attacked her
He's a
once.
fucking chimp, dude.
Yeah. And one day she had her friend over, and they were playing, and Travis took her keys and was like, "Well, I got your keys." So she took his favorite toy, a Tickle Me Elmo, and she's like, "Well, I got this." So his response was to tackle her, and the description of the actual crime scene is he began tearing her face off with just his hands.
Yeah.
And yeah, he chimped out. He pulled the full chimp. Ears, nose, eyes, jaw, pulling the whole thing apart. And what really, like, what got me, like, where I found it was, I was listening to real 911 calls, and the lady calling the police to help her friend, her call comes through. And it's weird, and it's almost, if it wasn't real, it's funny.
Yeah,
because the guy almost like the guy doesn't know how to respond because the phone answers and it sounds like stock chimp sounds. It's like him shrieking in the background and her just like going crazy. It sounds like somebody's pranking me. Like I would be like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah,
like
there's a chimp ripping my friend's face off.
Yeah, and she does. She's like, "Yeah, he's ripping her face off. He killed my friend." That's what she says because as far as you know,
yeah,
it's great. And then 911 call, get the address and stuff. But there's this part where she's like, "You gotta send cops. They gotta shoot him.
Right.
They gotta make sure he's dead." And yeah, apparently there's like the cops show up and there's this big standoff and they shoot the fuck out of this chimp.
Where the chimp's got a gun.
No.
Hostage situation.
Rides out of there on a horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they shoot the hell out of that shit.
Yeah.
Can we side note? For some reason, my brain, when I was watching the first new Planet of the Apes movie, I forgot what I was watching. So when he I don't know, I knew I was watching Planet of the Apes, but when he screamed no at Draco Malfoy, I was the gorilla. I was like, whoa, because I was like, I forgot this was a movie about talking monkeys.
I forgot that they eventually have society on the planet.
It felt, I don't know, it was one of those, I very rarely get in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
It was a good moment though, but yeah, no, the Travis chimp attack's fucked, and
yeah, well, it's not the only chimp attack that I know about.
Oh no, it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's just one of the times that I'm not even sure. It happens so much that I'm not even sure if I know about this or not because chimps rip people's faces off all the fucking time.
I think I was telling our buddy Ray about it, and he was like, "So what happened? Like that lady died?" I'm like, "No, she's fine.
No, she's not fine.
She got reconstructive surgery on her face, and it was like you can see pictures of what the fuck was left, and it's just a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts that lady made it. And
I think it's nuts that she made it. Fucking props.
And she sued the hell out of her friend for, damages, justifiably. She was like, help me pay for my stuff.
Wait, what?
And she there was an open case for damages rendered to face against the lady who owned the chimp, her friend.
Oh, it was her friend that got her face ripped off.
Yeah, it was her best friend or something, her close friend.
I thought it was the lady who owned the chimp got her face ripped off.
No, her friend got her face ripped off. That's why the lady called and was like, my friend is getting attacked, which is
yeah, well, I thought it was just her
you
friend.
should definitely get sued and pay your friends.
Oh my god, absolutely.
That's nuts. You should.
Oh my god.
Chimps should not be sold, they should be rented.
Even so, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't know who the fuck you are.
Well, I mean, in the sense of, it's a 5-year rental. You get it from baby to,
no.
adolescence, and then we shoot it to the jungle.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because the second...
But even so, how about just don't fucking own chimps?
I agree.
That's what I think.
Nobody is going to ever stop having... That's the only thing I think I'm with
But then again,
on.
I can't fucking... I support a lot of gun rights. I guess I can't really... split hairs in that weird way.
A gun's not alive. That's
a gun is not alive.
I'm with PETA on the sense of we probably shouldn't fucking keep pets. What do you keep a pet for? It's
it likes you.
It's one of those things. They can. I've always thought of having a pet, keeping a cat or a dog, as almost it's inherently selfish because it's for you.
Kinda.
Yeah.
We
make
depends
dogs.
if you keep a cat inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you let the cat fuck off, then it's doing whatever.
Of course,
a
it's fine,
dog wants to be around you. A dog is like, oh dude, you're my pet.
We
Dude,
made dogs to be like such
absolutely.
super
Yeah,
weird.
that's a fact. We definitely did. But hey, they're the organism they are now.
I just imagine an alien coming down and asking the dog questions, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. They bred us for millions of years to be their best friends." And then I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot to unpack. Hold on."
Yeah, that's a little strange, but but the dog's like, no, it's super cool now.
Yeah, he's great. They're great to us. They treat us. And it's like, have you ever heard of like Stockholm syndrome? No, what's that?
Huh?
What?
Squirrel what?
Yeah, but the Travis chimp attack, it really disturbed me because
I didn't know it was her friend. That fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And
what are you gonna do, bro? Look at here. If I roll into somebody's house and they have a chimp, I'm gonna be like, I respect your right to have a chimp, I guess, but I don't think I'm gonna hang out.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm not gonna, and you know that these fucking people are gonna be like, no, he's fine, he's totally good, he's friendly, blah blah blah. He looks it's like, yeah, I bet that's what everybody said before their chimp tore somebody's fucking face apart.
It would depend on the age for me. Like if it was like a little like when it's still half my size, I know that's not like a much of a handicap.
They'll fuck you up.
But at that point they're fun, they're friendly. But like I would be like, see him around town, and I'm like, Travis is getting a little old. I don't think I'm gonna go to Becky's house anymore.
Yeah, if it's full chimp, they're so strong, dude.
It's ridiculous.
They're so strong.
Casually pluck fingers off hands.
Not giving a fuck.
No, it's fucked up.
They go for your cock.
They go for your that's evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's evil intent to me. Chimps might be monsters.
They cannibalize,
Oh yeah, they do.
but they do it for like dominance and shit.
Yeah. No.
I think I brought that up on the cannibalism episode.
But yeah, so that's the Travis chimp attack. Look it up. You can find the actual 911 call online. And like I said, I don't want to make light of it, but like I honestly first
sucks.
hearing it sounded like a joke, and it's something weird in how the chimp sound makes it funny in a weird way.
Sure.
Until you're like, oh, this ain't a joke.
This
lady is
really
sobbing and saying you have to shoot him until he's dead. Which
Really
is sound
trouble.
advice. Oh man. But I guess that takes us to our main event.
Main event.
Another movie, which is almost going to be our tradition, where I find a movie that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like I said, Monkey Shines almost won out because I thought Monkey Shines was quirky. But Monkey Shines is Monkey Shines is known about. It's a Romero movie. It's, again, been parodied in fucking Malcolm in the Middle of all things. The movie we watched, Orca, has been lost to time almost. Nobody's ever talked about it. It's very rare.
Yeah.
I know about it from a Movie Bob special from like 7 years ago.
Oh, no shit.
He did like a Halloween thing of weird monster movies, and he ended on like Orca, and I was like, that's nuts, and I watched it immediately and went, this is nuts.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed watching it.
I didn't pick
I didn't make it all the way through. I fell asleep.
Yeah, you start dozing. Well, I didn't pick with Cannibal Holocaust, I picked like the Citizen Kane of cannibal movies.
Yeah.
With Orca, I picked an oddity, like
It's
a weird
not-
thing.
I will say that it is not as important as Cannibal Holocaust is.
Not in the slightest.
But thank God it starts a lot stronger than it finishes. Like, once it gets going, it's like, alright, I fucking get it.
Yeah. No, it's
But-
kind of fucking nuts at the start.
It was super entertaining though. At least the beginning was, and I didn't fall asleep out of boredom. I'm just fucking
We're tired. Doing this
super
late.
tired. Yeah, it was pretty late too. But I had actually seen a bit of it. There's a portion of this movie where, okay, so to break it down, it's a revenge story. It's reverse Moby Dick,
Yeah.
where the whale is on fucking collision course with revenge,
Oh yeah.
trying to fuck this guy up who was trying to.
He was like trying to catch it to sell it. Yeah.
He was or some shit. He was at least trying to kill it, because he was like out there doing some other fisherman bullshit, and then he just kind of sees these orcas.
Well, no, he's trying to catch it to like sell it to like a some kind of research facility that needs them. Because he says later, he's like, well, I was hoping it would pay off the mortgage on my boat.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah,
yeah, he's in it for money.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I thought he was out there doing something else, like some other fisherman bullshit.
He's just a, that's the thing, is he's like kind of a crappy fisherman already.
And then he's like, oh shit, orcas, I bet people pay some fucking money for them. So he tries to catch one of these orcas. It turns out it's a female orca who's pregnant. And they have this orca strung up by this boat, which is fucking physically impossible.
That tiny boat.
It's physically fucking
nuts,
impossible. Yeah. That boat would roll like a son, but this thing is multiple tons.
Yeah. Don't leave out the fact that when they hook the female, she like tries to commit suicide.
She does try to kill herself right away.
It's so nuts. Like she does not want to get caught.
And so this is the part that I've seen when I don't even know how old I was, but I remember seeing this vividly, where they have the orca strung up, and out of the tail of it, which is the top vertically, is a little baby orca just kind of like plops out of there. It's like an orca fetus.
Yeah, she gives forced birth on act, like because of like the stress,
because the strain, and she's dying and stuff. Yeah. And I lost my fucking mind.
You did.
Man.
It was
I was like,
so funny.
What the fuck? I've seen this.
Yeah.
I fucking seen this. It was so clear, that I had just mushed that down.
It was funny because I was like, "Yo, you've seen Orca?" And you're like, "No,
this, whatever this is, I've seen this," because the rest of it I have no memory of. The lead up to it, nothing. Afterwards, nothing. But that is just one. That's my luck. Right. You understand? That's the vibration that Zach exists on. I probably switched to a channel right as a fucking orca fetus flopped on the deck of this boat.
You're like,
and
nope.
This guy just grabbed a fucking hose and just went, oh shit, and just hosed it off into there, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I know. And then like...
But yeah, I couldn't fucking believe it. It was years and years and years ago. I could not fucking believe it. I haven't thought about it in years. Probably because it horrified me.
Oh yeah. No, it's upsetting. It's weird.
It's definitely upsetting. Not as much now, because it's clearly a fake, like, Eraserhead baby orca falling down and just hosing off into the ocean. So... Anyway, I couldn't fucking... That's the event of the night for me. It was like, I cannot fucking believe this thing. Horrifying image from my childhood is dredged up.
Well, yeah, once the setup...
I hate this show.
I love too, like, when that happens, the male orca, the main... antagonist? Yeah, he's the antagonist. I don't know. You follow Nolan so much.
It's a perspective thing.
But like he has like a full grown man's roar. He's like, he's so angry, he's so distraught, he has cries of pain. It's nuts. And
they keep calling it his wife too.
Yeah, it's his
it's his wife. Like they have orca marriage ceremonies.
It's great. It's super good.
It's fun.
They like cut her loose, and like he takes that chance to like eat one of them immediately. They do that shot where he like locks eyes with Nolan, the captain who's doing it, and like they put Nolan in the whale's eyes.
He's like reflected in there.
I'm gonna take a moment. Nolan, though, the guy who like kills the whale on accident, is maybe the most reasonable dude who could be in that position of a movie.
He gets it.
Yeah.
Every step of the way. He's not against anybody, really. He doesn't even want to. He's, for one, regretful for killing the whale.
Yep.
Okay. He did not have a good time out there doing that.
No. It fucked him up.
Yeah. And two, okay, so the whale
let's do what the whale's fucking warpath is.
Yes, the whale is on a vengeance course.
And I'll say, if Nolan is the most reasonable character we could have had in this position, the whale is surprisingly malicious and intelligent.
The whale understands what it needs to do. And the whale is way smarter than... whales are.
It starts disrupting the economy of the fishing village.
Like whales are super smart, but whales can't like look at it and be like, "That's the gas line."
Yeah, it does that. It finds the gas line and starts setting fire to the fucking port.
It blows up a fucking foundry.
The refinery. It disrupts their economy by like driving fish away and sinking boats.
Yeah,
but not his boat. And the lady's like, it's because he wants you to just go out there and
He
fight
wants
him.
you to meet him on the sea and face it.
He's like, I won't do that.
And he rightfully is like, no. I'm not gonna. You want me to go 1v1 in Orca? Are you out of your fucking mind?
It's nuts. And then, like, everybody in the town is pissed at him. And, like, they want him. They're like, go fight him. Because they just want the whale to fucking leave him alone.
Yeah.
And even that,
they need
he's
their
like...
livelihood back.
Yeah, even that, he's like, I understand. They're completely in the right to try and drive us out of here.
On the phone, when they're talking to him, and he's like, no, I get it. I completely understand. I understand.
It's lovely.
He is totally cool. He's the coolest character.
Yeah.
As far as like cool as a cucumber, you know what I mean? Where he's like, dude, hey, this whale is trying to kill me because I killed his fucking wife and child. I get it, man. I would want to kill me too. Because his wife and kid, or maybe just his wife.
His wife and kid, yeah.
And kid
died to a drunk driver.
In a drunk driver accident, which I was joking. It would be funny if it was just like a whale. Like, a whale killed his wife and kid. Because he was drunk driving home.
There's that lovely scene where he's like sets up the scarecrow to lure the whale up because he's going to shoot it in the face. Yeah. And then he's like, I was going to shoot it in the face, but I can't bring myself to do it. He's like, you said whales are intelligent. They can speak to us like humans.
I'm going to try to talk to it.
He wants to apologize. His first thought is like, I need to apologize.
He literally says
for doing this.
He says that. He's like, maybe, you say that they can understand communication. He's gonna like look into its eyes and say, "This is all just a big misunderstanding. I'm super sorry."
Literally, what he says.
He's gonna look into its eyes and apologize
for killing its wife and child. It's so good, and then
see if it works. And I'm like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna try that before shooting it in the face, props."
Yeah,
because
most movies wouldn't even. It would just be you trying to kill this thing.
He's just a very understanding man.
Which is why I'm like, it's weird because then you root for the whale. The whale's supposed to be who you root for, but Nolan is so remorseful and so apologetic, and the whale is such a fucking prick about it.
Well, understandably. Look what happened to the whale.
It's one of those weird things, though, where you're like, the whale's the tragic character, and like he's lost to vengeance. He's gone.
But there is no good guy.
No.
Which I like stories like that. There is no good guy, especially
kind of circumstance, really.
But my favorite character is obviously the whale because it's a super genius whale who is gone. He's whale punisher. He's gone crazy with vengeance.
He does too. There's the thing where he like wrecks their like dock house and like bites that lady's leg off.
Yeah.
No, it's super nuts.
It's Bo Derek.
And Bo Derek gets her leg chopped off. It's super nuts too. Yeah, it kind of just.
Yeah, let me try and think of because I started to come in and out. I'm very, very tired.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of just like the whale pushes his wife's body onto shore where they were docked.
Yes.
As like a threat.
As like a threat, but also yes.
Yeah.
It's a threat because I'm sure if they have marriage, they have burial rights.
And he fucks the boats up, so the fishing village is mad.
Yeah, he starts headbutting the boats hard enough to poke holes in them, and they sink immediately. They sink right away.
And then he like refuses the apology attempt. Yeah. And then detonates everything.
And then he blows up the factory.
And then it's like the next night he goes for the boathouse. And they like the town is like, we're not going to let you pump gas. You're getting on your boat.
Oh yeah, that's right. They start turning him away from stores and gas stations and stuff. He's like, dude, you got to take care of that fucking well. It's fucking everything. Well, it's just a fucking port town. Yeah. They got nothing else. It's a fisherman's village, you know? So they have to like, dude, all this fucking orca's keeping all the fish away. It's fucking up everybody's boats. You got to take care of this shit now. And he's like, look, I don't want to, if I go out there, I'm going to fucking die. I don't want to die. I don't even want to kill this thing because the reason that he's pissed off, I understand that. Yeah. But I also understand why the fuck you're mad. So it's kind of, he's in this fucking weird position where it's like, okay, which thing is he going to have to do that he doesn't want to do?
Yeah. And I think this is where the movie, this is where the movie goes from being like, not great, but super interesting. Yeah. To fucking really bad, kind of.
I mean, it was a little schlocky.
It's schlocky. Oh yeah, of course it is. It involves a whale.
But I mean,
revenge for his dead wife.
Schlocky, even in like a at the end, a bad way. I remember being on a glacier.
No, at the end, it's the second he leaves the port town. Like you see that, like it's like okay, there wasn't enough setup. Like you didn't have enough time to really, because he goes from being like understanding
As soon
to
as
suddenly he's like a week without sleep. He's like a whole different dude out of nowhere.
I remember that.
It's
I remember
weird.
that.
And it's
That's when I started. As soon as he leaves the port town, now I'm in it. I'm like threading reality.
The iceberg, the sailing is super really weird. It's because it feels like they didn't have enough time to really develop the idea they were doing, and then the last act is just him chasing the whale. But like, you know, Priscilla was there like, what the fuck are they doing? And I'm like, they're chasing the whale. And she's like, why? I'm like, they don't know. And then they say as much. They go, we don't have a plan. He won't even make a plan. He's just chasing the whale. And like,
well, I guess
that's literally all it is.
It kind of makes sense because he's like, I didn't want to fucking do this.
Well,
if he's going without sleep,
is he so deranged during this stretch? It's like, how did he go from? Because it's literally like he goes from, like, I understand I'm rational to like the next scene. I'm getting on my boat. I'm gonna fight this whale. I'm sleep deprived, and it's like, it feels like there's something missing. It feels like
there wasn't enough time between this.
Yeah.
For you to get the sleep deprived.
Yeah, it feels like something happened, but that they didn't get to film, or maybe had to cut for time,
or maybe they just like they didn't,
or they just jumped into it.
They didn't film it right.
Yeah,
they didn't go like, no. You need to be remorseful about this. You need to be like conflicted, not just like, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna fucking go for it. Screw it.
That's the problem. Is like the whole last third is just them sailing towards glaciers. And then, like, people on his crew die one by one in really dumb ways, like, just default ways.
Right. That sucks.
You do get there's the one good scene where he's sitting there, like, listening to the whale talk, and he goes, I know what he's saying. And he's saying, I am you, and you are me.
That's right.
I am your drunk driver. Or you are my drunk driver.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, he's so far gone.
Yeah, he's fucking looping now.
It's so nuts. And then they have a really dumb showdown on a glacier.
That I saw bits and pieces.
Yeah, they do bring the whale, looks at him, sees him, and then it zooms on his eye, sees the whale. It's super fucking great and lame.
I was hoping they did that
at the beginning,
the first time.
Yeah,
and then it was more just like a power struggle between him and the whale.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed the way it played out until the parts I started like zoning in and out, and I was like, I would wake up for a bit and then be like, I really don't feel like I'm fucking missing anything particularly.
You really, honestly, you aren't.
Like, I saw all the best
nothing
parts.
happens for a while. It's just a character goes,
vibe,
what are we doing? We're following the whale. Why? Don't worry about it. Then that guy dies, and somebody else starts doing that.
What are we doing?
Yeah. There's a funny moment where he likes dynamite to throw it at the whale, and the lady knocks it out of his hands, and then they pick it up and throw it in the water anyway.
Did the
super dumb?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did the native guy live?
No. They run into an iceberg, and then the whale pushes them into it, and then a bunch of ice falls and kills them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah, I mean he calls.
He's the dude. We looked it up. Okay, there's actually some pretty famous actors here. For one, Bo Derek.
Yeah.
Super famous, or at least she was. I'm not sure what she's up to anymore. But the main guy is played by, I forget what we said his name was. But he's English Bob from Unforgiven. He's, I think he's the king in Troy.
I don't know.
He's,
yeah, I don't remember his name.
I don't either. I should. I like Troy. I used to watch it a lot. There's also the native guy is the dude from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the big, giant native dude, and he's also Ten Bears. Chief Ten Bears from the Outlaw Josie Wales.
But yeah,
and I think that's where it ends.
They just have a fight, and then it's like really.
The whale lives. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, the whale lives.
The whale. I remember like just before credits roll. There's like glacier shots of like the whale just like swooping around.
He kind of just like gets him in the water and then like propels him out of the water with his tail into a glacier, and then he just dies and rolls into the water.
Well, I mean,
and it's it's fucked up because like I said, they want you to root for the whale, but Nolan is so like apologetic that it's like
man, he feels bad.
Like this was all this was all an accident, dude.
He was just trying to make some coin, but also, hey, you didn't have respect for something.
Yeah.
You know, you just tried to harvest without any without any what the fuck do you call that? Without any reverence
for precautions, and he really
for what it truly means, what you're doing. You know,
basically just yanked a whale out of the ocean on a winch on a boat too small to haul anything.
It's different than like if you're trying to snag up a whale, it's different than like catching a fish off a pier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Fish are like bugs of the water. Even though there's bugs in the water.
There's bugs in the water.
But they're like, I don't know, what do you call them? Rats? And they're not like alive. They are, but fish are fucking so stupid. Like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not angry about killing a fish.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't want anything to die wastefully, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, it's a difference between, like, fishing and, like, hitting a fish with a hammer
Yeah, just because fuck fish. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, sadly, there's not much else we can really say about Orca. There's the petty thing in the beginning, because the creator of Orca, De Laurentiis, he was frustrated with Jaws, and he thought it was a dumb popcorn movie.
Yeah.
So he made Orca as the, air quote, intellectual response to it. And the movie opens with an orca killing a great white, like bashing it out of the water.
Yes. Which I knew would happen.
Oh, yeah. The second you see it.
Here's how it went down in Naui. There's like a scuba diver.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's really cool.
And a shark is swimming up. It was like, oh, obviously an orca is going to come kill the shark because it's a Jaws-looking shark. It's a big shark. And then they cut back to it. It's a way smaller shark. And then they cut back to it again, and it's like a middle-sized shark.
It's like a different,
yeah. There's sharks. Like 3 different sharks.
It's nuts.
And then an orca kills it, which I was like, yeah, of course it will. And then also when they are shooting a harpoon at the orcas,
before
they bag the wife, and then one of the harpoons like kind of spears through the back end of the male orca's dorsal fin, so it leaves like a chunk missing out of it. It's like, oh well, this is before anything goes down. It's like, oh, that's clearly the orca.
Yeah, that's
that you can
pick it out.
Yeah, you can spot it.
Mm-hmm.
With just this cheap dorsal appendage that we built.
I think it's funny that they do that, and then it's in one scene where it's with other orcas, and then never again. So it was like, why even bother? But
yeah, I don't know. It looks cool.
Yeah,
with the chunks missing out of it.
Yeah,
you always see that in art too, like when like cartoon art, when there's a shark fin, there's always got little
like notches.
Yeah. Just common.
Yeah.
It's a right angle that exists. You know what I mean? So it gets picked at a lot. And
yeah.
Orca was fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I picked it mostly because it was a weird pick, and it's not many people know about it.
Yeah. I didn't know that I knew about it until that fucking horrid scene from my childhood got dredged up. Which I guess I'm glad I did. It got me in touch with a little bit of your youth. What I used to be, and how it's just like, man, I saw some stuff I shouldn't have seen when I was younger. Like a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
But I think that's everybody. It should be everybody. If you're one of those fucking bubble boy kids who's just like, no, I saw RoboCop when I was fucking 16 and it was fine. You weren't watching fucking the first Terminator when you were 8 years old and going like, whoa.
I definitely saw Terminator 2 young.
Yeah.
I saw all those.
I saw Terminator 2 first.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That one,
it was on TV, it was action movie.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That one I feel is easier to censor. I feel like that was the one that was like cleaner.
Yeah. It was still hardcore though. I remember them fucking stitching each other's wounds. I was like, you fucking yikes. When the Miles Dyson dies too.
Yeah.
He's just like slowly starts
Yeah. I do that laugh as a joke sometimes.
Fuck.
Like something so funny that you're just dead.
Yeah.
At this point.
Just slowly. Oh man. Yeah, it's not about.
Yeah, we're rambling. Yeah, see, we're getting off topic because Orca sadly doesn't have too much to talk about.
Not really. It was.
Yeah, it's
cool.
fine.
I
picked it more for because I'm like more people need to know about Orca.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun little weird movie.
Absolutely.
It's worth a watch and slog through the ending because the end's kind of sucky. But
yeah, I enjoyed it just as much, even though I slept through about the last 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, honestly, you can skip the end. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that's all we can say about that. I've decided to pick our next episode so we can start getting ready.
Oh shit!
I think because we did cannibals,
we did
animal attacks,
we did animal attacks,
both things that are very obvious, real world and stuff like that. So I think next time let's do vampires.
You want to do vampires?
Let's go vampires.
How are we gonna do real world vampires?
There's a couple I can pick. Oh, I know a few
dude.
already, and I already know what movie we'll watch.
Dude, I don't know if I want to roll down a fucking real life vampire hole. That sounded nastier than it should.
Leave it to me then.
Okay, maybe.
But
Sometimes I like when I just leave all the prep work to you, and then you just hit me with a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, fuck.
Because I will. I'll spend
I know
the entire period. I feel like that's almost as like you get you'll like binge a couple things pretty close to our recording sessions.
Yeah.
And like so your descriptions are very fresh. It's very like descriptive.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I can't do it otherwise.
Sometimes I'll see them and then like it'll be like 2 weeks or like this one I watched like Arachnophobia like a month ago.
Really?
It's something
Dude,
like
I can't.
not a month ago. Like, our episode was sooner.
I can't do it. I'll forget. That's why I keep a journal when I'm watching a movie that is for this. I'll keep notes.
Yeah.
Because I will fucking forget something super hilarious or a plot point or something.
Yeah.
I fucking got too much shit to do, man, and I can't fucking like. If I try to watch one of these movies, if I try to watch fucking the Piranha movie, you know, and then try to recount it a month later, I would just be like, I don't know, Lee Majors fucks around with fish. I don't fucking remember. Who cares? Let's move on.
Fine.
But also, I'm not going to just spend a month watching nothing but animal attack movies and then just like whatever I remember.
Sure.
That's what we're talking about. I don't want to do that either. So I'd just rather just binge and keep notes, and then we'll come here all bullshit with it.
Yeah. No.
It's gonna be awesome, dude. Vampires. They turn into bats.
And that's your teaser for next episode.
That's your teaser. That's funny.
No, I'm Matt.
I'm Zach.
Have a